Apocalypse. In the first 7 days, I frantically stockpile 300 billion in supplies. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176. The plan is finalized. Li Yun snorted, "You can't do such a thing yourself, it's your own business. Don't involve me, I have a way to do it, so I don't have any problems in this regard." Xiao Fan looked at Yushu. Yushu snorted, "Don't brag, do other people willingly carry out your orders? And no matter what kind of strange order it is, won't those people have doubts about you?" Xiao Fan thought for a while, and these words were very reasonable, so he said, "Li Yun, I think what Yushu said is very reasonable, you must not be too careless." Li Yun smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'm not like this stupid woman. Of course I have a way to gather all my people together without letting them have any doubts." Yushu said, very unconvinced. "Then tell me what kind of method it is." Li Yun glared at Yushu and replied, "What kind of solution do I have, and what does it matter to you?" Yushu looked at Xiao Fan for help and said, "Since the three of us are going to help each other in this matter, of course we must trust each other and we can't hide anything from each other. Do you think what I said makes sense?" Xiao Fan nodded and looked at Li Yun and said, "Just tell me what kind of method you have adopted, and let the two of us follow along as a staff member, in case there are any loopholes." Li Yun still cared about Xiao Fan's opinion, so she said, "Actually, my method is very simple, but it is definitely very effective, and it will not arouse anyone's suspicion. As long as Yushu can gather her people together, I use this as an excuse to say that I need to keep an eye on Yushu's people, and I can make my people gather without any suspicion." Yushu said angrily, "You are such a bitch, you are using me completely by doing this. And how can I believe that you will not attack suddenly after my people gather?" Li Yun said angrily, "You are a slut, so what if I suddenly attack your people? I just need to make sure that you, a slut, can survive." Yushu questioned, "How can I believe that you won't kill me?" Li Yun sneered and said, "I said you are really an idiot, you can't use your brain properly, you are now a pawn in my hand, of course I have to make good use of you as a pawn, how could I give up on you so easily?" Peace. Yushu sneered and said, "You are a complete slut, I don't believe every word you say. It's not impossible to ask me to gather all the people together for you to kill, and then help you do meritorious service. You must let him treat you like me. Otherwise, I will never trust you, and I will never cooperate with you." After Xiao Fan heard it, she was very happy. The benefits came unexpectedly, but also a little suddenly. Li Yun said angrily, "He can't do it now." Xiao Fan hastily protested, "Who says I can't do it? I'm super good." Li Yun glared at Xiao Fan fiercely. Actually, Li Yun didn't hate Xiao Fan at this time. On the contrary, she was very grateful to him. Lin Kifeng leaned over. Li Yun didn't resist at all. Of course, the reason why Li Yun did not resist, more importantly, was because he had watched many scenes in succession, and small flames had already ignited in his heart. The corners of Yushu's mouth turned up slightly proudly. "Li Yun, like this, what will you have to do in front of me in the future? Women are sometimes so strange in their hearts, since I am already like this. Don't think you are much better than me." Yushu looked at it for a while, and couldn't help but climbed up to Li Yun. Li Yun tried to push her, but couldn't push her away. Xiao Fan was speechless for a while, but it was also inexplicably fresh, finally calm. Yushu licked her lips and said, "Li Yun, I didn't expect you to drool so much." Li Yun said angrily, "You are such a bitch, take advantage of me and eat you to death." Yushu replied indifferently, "It's very sweet, is there any more? I still want to eat." Li Yun pushed Xiao Fan hard and said, "You can't control her, let this pervert stay away from me, I feel sick when I see her." Yushu proudly said, "Stop pretending to be serious in front of me, you were not much better than me just now, and you didn't eat less of my saliva." Li Yun almost couldn't help but explode on the spot. Xiao Fan saw that the situation was very bad. If he didn't come out to stop it, these two women could get together. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, Okay, we can trust each other absolutely now, let's talk about our plan." Although the plan Li Yun just mentioned to Yushu, it has to be said that it is a very perfect plan. As long as Yushu gathers Prince Mingjin's people together, even if those people have any doubts, there is no need to worry at all, because Li Yun will kill all of them. Of course it will never hurt Yushu, even in the future Yushu will not arouse anyone's suspicion if she goes back alone. Of course, no one will doubt her on Li Yun's side, and all my crises can be resolved, Li Yun said. It seems that this time I betrayed Princess Yujin a little bit. If you hadn't come back to save me at that time, I would not have treated you so well. I can only do this one thing to be sorry for Princess Yujin. In the future I will never do such a thing again, Yu Shu sneered. Either you don't do such a thing, or if you do it, you can't just do one thing. You know this truth in your heart, why are you lying to yourself? If you are so hypocritical again, I will look down on you, be your true self. You are not much better than me, Xiao Fan hurriedly said. I said, can you two stop bickering? Even if you want to do something in the future, you probably won't be able to do it. Whether we can meet again after we part this time, I'm afraid it depends on God's will. Unless you two think in your heart that I can find a chance and come to me again, otherwise we will not have the chance to meet again. I just want to find you, but I don't have the ability, Yu Shu said. You don't have to say it is so pitiful. My spaceship is parked in a starry sky not far from here, or I will take you with me when the time comes. Even if you can't follow me to the Jade Emperor Starfield Zing, you can also go to my planet. In that case, we still have a chance to meet. It depends on whether you are willing or not. Chapter 177. Go and see your relatives and friends. Yu Shu said without showing any weakness. There are so many people on your spaceship, you let him go with you. Is it for his own good, or to kill him? If his whereabouts are revealed, do you know, knowing that he is dead? What's wrong with following me? At least it is very safe and will not reveal his whereabouts, Li Yun said very unconvinced. Since I have a way to let him board my spaceship, there must be a way to ensure that his whereabouts will not be leaked in any way. You don't have to worry about this, I will definitely guarantee his absolute safety, Yu Shu said angrily. What guarantee do you have? Do you really think that you have absolute authority? Do those people you bring will absolutely obey your arrangements? I can't even tell. How come you have so much confidence? Blind self-confidence can kill people, Li Yun sarcastically said. You may not like to listen to it very much, but what I have to tell you is that my self-confidence is definitely not blind self-confidence, but the self-confidence that comes from my strength. Xiao Fan felt a headache, and the two women confronted each other everywhere, so he said, you two should stop arguing. I will not leave my planet. There are my relatives and friends here, I will never leave them behind. It doesn't matter. So I won't leave with you, no matter who it is. Both Li Yun and Yu Shu looked at Xiao Fan at the same time. Xiao Fan was a little scared, and explained, what I say is from the bottom of my heart. I am a very emotional person, and I will never abandon my relatives and friends. Yu Shu sneered, is it really as simple as family and friends? Li Yun also stared at Xiao Fan with a malicious smile. Xiao Fan said straightforwardly without any guilt, of course they are relatives and friends. What are you doing lying to you? And these relatives and friends are the most important people to me. I will never abandon them. Li Yun said, there's still some time now. Why don't you go to see your relatives and friends with you before implementing the plan? I want to see what kind of relatives and friends make you so worried. Yu Shu unexpectedly agreed with Li Yun's opinion and said very seriously, I think it is necessary for me to meet your relatives and friends. Anyway, I have plenty of time. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, it's very inappropriate for you to do this. Think about it carefully. You two should be enemies in the first place, and you should keep your whereabouts absolutely secret. Now you show up together just to see my relatives and friends. If something is revealed, it will not only be a catastrophic result for you, but also a catastrophic disaster for me, and it will also implicate my relatives and friends. I can't do this. Yu Shu took out a milky white flake from the clothes next to her and said, your worry is very reasonable, but with this thing, you don't need to worry about it. Do you know what it is? Don't look at it. It is small and seems very ordinary, but it is really amazing. It can help me hide my whereabouts within 24 hours, whether it is my body, smell or other traces, it can be perfectly hidden. Xiao Fan looked at the milky white flake in amazement and asked, such a small thing, is it really so amazing? Yu Shu laughed and said, you ignorant bumpkin, let me show you how amazing it is. I thought I was lying to you. Xiao Fan was furious, turned over Yu Shu, aimed at the chubby behind her and slapped her hard, and asked, you dare to call yourself an old lady when you talk to me? Yu Shu Jiao said with a smile, my old lady is my old lady, why don't you dare call yourself that? Suddenly, Xiao Fan saw that Yu Shu had disappeared. It was true that Yu Shu's body odor had disappeared, but she could still hit her round and soft. Xiao Fan was really surprised. Xiao Fan couldn't help groping, Yushu protested loudly, "You bastard, beat me if you want, don't torture me like this." Xiao Fan suddenly felt very fresh, and went into battle with a gun, killing all directions. Li Yun snorted, "It seems that you have this thing, and I have it too." Li Yun disappeared instantly, and then a very weird scene appeared, as if Xiao Fan was fighting against the air. After another fight, Xiao Fan asked, "Are there many of you, and is it common in your place?" Yushu said, "There are indeed a lot of these things, but they are not very common in our area. The range of people who can use this thing is really very limited, because it is too precious." "Do you know how much it will cost for such an invisible post-it note?" "Price?" Xiao Fan asked curiously. "How much?" Yushu smiled and said, "If you can't buy it with money, you must exchange it with credit, and then you can get it with credit." "Of course, although I don't have any credit, but my father has credit, so I can borrow my father's light." That dead girl Li Yun is really outstanding, and she has made a lot of credits, so she also has this invisible sticky note. From this point of view, she is much better than me, otherwise why would I be so greedy for her? Outstanding. Li Yun snorted, "It's alright now, auntie, I have finally been completely obtained by you, so I should be satisfied." Yushu smiled proudly, "I'm really satisfied with my old lady." "Li Yun, tell me the truth, do you feel a little bit about my old lady now?" Li Yun snorted, "It feels like a fart, every time you rape me, I am forced." Knowing that the two women were continuing to talk, Xiao Fan must have started working again, and hurriedly said, "Let's discuss our plan. Why not hurry up and implement it?" Yushu said angrily, "Stop coming, the two of us have used up such precious invisible post-it notes, of course we will follow you to see your relatives and friends." Li Yun also expressed the same idea very firmly. In fact, both of them have their own plans. Since they are not clear with the man in front of them, and they are not the kind of casual women, they really want to take this man away. What's more, the man in front of him is really outstanding, even on their planet. Xiao Fan knew that hiding could not be avoided, so he said, "I will take you to my base to have a look." "There is no problem, but there are some things we must explain in advance. You must absolutely listen to me in my base. There are many ordinary people must not lose their temper casually, and they will hurt them unintentionally." Li Yun said, "Don't worry, I will never hurt them." Chapter 178 The Value of Immortality. Xiao Fan just couldn't help complaining in his heart. These two women were in front of him but he couldn't see them, and he didn't know if the expressions on their faces were very sincere and kind when they promised him serious. Xiao Fan didn't say anything else, and took the two of them to his base. Of course, in the eyes of outsiders, Xiao Fan is the only one. This invisible sticky note is really amazing. It is absolutely impossible for anyone to notice the existence of Yushu and Li Yun. As soon as Xiao Fan returned to his base, he saw Xiao Li jumping towards him very excitedly, shouting happily, "Dad, Dad, you are finally back. Xiao Li misses you so much." Xiao Fan had a helpless wry smile on his face, and could only look helplessly at his eldest daughter, Mu Hong. Yu Wenli and the others covered their mouths and held back their smiles. Xiao Fan thought that the culprit of all this was Lin Xiaoxiao. He looked around Lin Xiaoxiao, but it seemed that Lin Xiaoxiao was very sensible, so he didn't show up. In front of my own eyes. Xiao Fan was still a little nervous. Yushu and Li Yun didn't know what kind of reaction they would have, but Xiao Fan didn't notice anything strange. Didn't these two women come with him? In fact, Xiao Fan didn't know that Yushu and Li Yun were both stunned at this moment. They were not shocked because of Xiao Li. Of course, if the two of them were not in an invisible state at this time, they could see their eyes. All eyes were on Zhang Weilin, who is quietly standing behind the crowd. The two of them are like a person who has been hungry for 7 days seeing a piece of meat, or a person who has been thirsty for 3 days seeing a spring of clear water, so excited and hard to believe their eyes. Immortality. They never expected that someone here would have awakened the ability of immortality. Although the two of them couldn't tell what power the other people had awakened, the undead power could still be seen at a glance, because the undead power would emit a unique aura, the undead aura. This kind of aura Xiao Fan and the others can't detect it. But both Yushu and Li Yun from a higher civilization can detect it. This undead ability is the most difficult ability to awaken, and it is also the rarest ability. It is impossible to awaken a single undead ability among 100 million people with the ability. Precious, and what makes the undead ability really precious is that in the Jade Emperor star field, the undead ability can help produce many high-tech products, such as life-extending medicine. There are many high-tech products, Whoever owns an undead superpower definitely owns a living treasure, and can become a top power in one party. So now Li Yun and Yu Shu are all shocked by Zhang Weilan's undead ability, and they don't have the heart to pay attention to why Xiao Fan has a daughter as old as Xiao Li. Xiao Fan rubbed Xiao Li's hair and said, "Xiao Li, are you good? Did your dad tell you to stay in the room and not come out? Why did you run out?" Xiao Fan is not blaming Xiao Li, but because Xiao Li is a human incarnation of the original energy of this planet. If Li Yun and Yu Shu see some flaws, what kind of actions will these two women make? Xiao Fan really has no bottom in his heart. In fact, Xiao Fan doesn't know at all. Even if Li Yun and Yu Shu have seen Xiao Li's true identity, they are absolutely boring now, and it is absolutely impossible for anyone to be compared with the immortal. Xiao Fan pulled Xiao Li towards Sister Xia and said, "Sister Xia, take Xiao Li back first." Although Su Xia didn't know why Xiao Fan asked her to do this, she still complied obediently. Xiao Li was very reluctant to be dragged away by Su Xia. Xiao Fan walked up to Mu Hong and said, "Sister Hong, you and Mu Ying go back to your room first. I will tell you about something later." Mu Hong took her sister and left too. Yu Wenli was full of doubts. What the hell is this guy doing? Why does he look so sneaky? Naturally, they don't know what Xiao Fan is thinking in his heart now. This is to guard against Yu Shu and Li Yun. Xiao Fan looked at Fang Fei and said, "Sister, you and Fang Min and Fang Lin should go back first too. Wait a minute, I will visit you." At this time, Zhang Weilan suddenly let out a shriek, and then jumped up on the spot, as if stung by a scorpion. Everyone looked at Zhang Weilan, not knowing what was going on. Why Zhang Weilan suddenly became so nervous. Xiao Fan immediately realized something, and was about to speak when she heard Li Yun's voice appear out of thin air. "Little sister, don't be afraid. My sister was too excited just now, so I couldn't help holding your hand. My sister is not what kind of monster. You have to be human just like you, but you just use an invisible post-it note. Look, you can see me now." Speaking of Li Yun's invisible post-it, she tore off, and then the perfect Li Yun appeared. Although the people here are all beauties, she was still amazed. Immediately afterwards, Yu Shu also tore off the post-it notes on her body, which made everyone feel even more amazing. Xiao Fan saw Li Yun holding Zhang Weilan's left hand, and Yu Shu holding Zhang Weilan's right hand. "What kind of playing are these two women doing?" Yu Wenli asked. "Xiao Fan, what the hell is going on? Why did these two women suddenly appear in our base, and they are still invisible?" Xiao Fan was thinking about how to explain the wording. Li Yun smiled and said, "Don't be surprised, we are friends of Xiao Fan, and the interstellar iron beetle is our common enemy, but because our whereabouts must be kept secret, we just used invisible post-it notes. You didn't see us. Now that we've entered the base, our actions don't need to be kept secret, so you can see us. We're all friends." Yu Shu also smiled very warmly and said, "My sister is very right. We are all good friends, and we have a common enemy. Our fate is linked together." Zhang Weilan was very uncomfortable and wanted to get rid of these two women, but it was obvious that she couldn't do it. The two women held her hands tightly, and they were not willing to part for a moment. Xiao Fan walked over and asked, "I said, what are you two doing? Let go of Weilan quickly. Can't you see that Weilan is very uncomfortable?" Chapter 179. The Four Conspire. Yu Shu smiled and said, "Good sister, you don't have to be nervous at all. We and Xiao Fan are very, very good friends, and even very close comrades in arms. We have fought side by side many times together, and we are absolutely fine with each other. Believe me, Xiao Fan, do you think what I said is right?" Xiao Fan could only nod his head. The three of them had indeed fought many times. Yu Shu giggled and said, "Good sister, you see I didn't lie to you. So we will be very good sisters in the future, and we are sisters who can trust each other. What's your name?" "Good sister, you can call me Yu Shu, elder sister." Not to be outdone, Li Yun said, "My good sister, you can call me Sister Li." Seeing Xiao Fan nodding, Zhang Weilan became less nervous and replied, "You two sisters can call me Weilan." Yu Shu immediately praised, "Sister Weilan, your name is really nice and beautiful. My sister doesn't have such a wonderful name like you. I really envy her, and my sister is so beautiful. It makes me feel so beautiful. My sister liked it so much. If she was a man, she would definitely fall in love with you." Li Yun secretly scolded this bitch for being so flattering, and her aunt must not be left behind, and said with a smile, "Sister Weilan is not only beautiful, she is like a fairy, and she does not eat the super dusty feeling of fireworks in the world. Sister Lan, From now on, Sister Li and you will be like sisters. What other people see is all inexplicable. These two women are not sick, they are obviously so beautiful, and in a serious comparison, both Li Yun and Yu Shu are actually more beautiful than Zhang Weilan. 1 point, Zhang Weilan's mother couldn't bear to see them so shamelessly flattering Zhang Weilan. Knowing that these two women must have ulterior motives, Xiao Fan walked up to the two of them and said in a low voice, "What exactly do you two want to do? Let's find a place to talk. Don't let others look at you two like little fools." Both Li Yun and Yu Shu nodded at the same time, but neither of them let go of Zhang Weilan. Xiao Fan said helplessly, "Weilan, you come with me too." The four left under the watchful eyes of others. Yu only looked at their backs and said, "They must be very difficult. They must have seen something from Weilan's body? Could it be that Weilan has awakened immortality? But what does this have to do with them?" Zhang Weilan's mother said nervously, "Are the two of them trying to take away my daughter's undead ability?" Tan Fifei said, "I said you don't have to worry about the big sister. Things like abilities are exclusive, and others can't take them away, let alone Xiao Fan. Even if they want to take Xiao Fan away, they won't take it away." Agreed. Yu Wenli nodded, a little confused at this time. Xiao Fan and the four of them have arrived at Zhang Weilan's room. Xiao Fan said, "Okay, you two can say what's on your mind. What exactly do you want to do? Don't hide it from me, I will really be angry." Yu Shu smiled and said, "I said, why are you angry? We too have no malicious intentions, but Sister Weilan is really a peerless treasure. Don't you really know it at all?" Zhang Weilan was stunned when she heard this. When did she become a peerless treasure? Xiao Fan said impatiently, "I told you two not to play charades when talking. Just say what you have to say, don't beat around the bush." "I don't understand it." Li Yun smiled and said, "The two of us can see that what Sister Weilan awakened is the ability of immortality. Don't you really know that every person with immortal ability is a natural treasure, and it is an inexhaustible treasure? An inexhaustible treasure that cannot be measured by specific value." Xiao Fan was surprised. "What kind of value is the undead ability?" Li Yun explained, "Let me tell you this, among the 100 million people with supernatural abilities, there is not a single person with immortal supernatural abilities. With such a rarity, you should know the extraordinary value of undead abilities. It has been a long time since the star field has not awakened undead supernatural powers." Xiao Fan said, "Even if the undead ability is very rare, what does it have to do with the peerless treasure you just mentioned?" Li Yun also explained the value of the undead ability in detail without any concealment, and then continued, "The value of the undead ability has a broad application prospect, and what I just said is only a small one aspect, but as long as we can take advantage of one aspect, we can obtain unimaginable benefits. For example, using the ability of immortality to make life-extending medicine can allow us to have a treasure. Those of us with abilities are not immortals, there is a certain time limit. Whoever doesn't want to live longer, who can refuse the temptation of life-extending medicine, then we will get rich." Yu Shu continued, "Let's just unite the four of us and build a secret development base on your planet. I believe that in a short time, your planet will become a center of this universe. Many civilized people they will buy life-extending medicines from here." Xiao Fan thought about it carefully and said, "Our tripartite cooperation is the best way of cooperation, but can you two ensure that the life-extending medicine can be produced with only the strength of the four of us? Besides, the two of you can't stay here too often. Will Prince Mingjin and Princess Yujin let you go?" Yu Shu smiled and said, "It is absolutely impossible to rely on the strength of the four of us alone, and we don't even have the materials and equipment to produce life-extending medicines, but we can go back and quietly collect the needed equipment and materials bit by bit. They're all transported to your planet, so that's fine. As for other people, they just need to keep it a secret. We're just looking for a chance to make a fortune for ourselves, and it won't harm their interests." Li Yun nodded and said, "There is no problem at all in doing this. Of course, the confidentiality work must be done well. Except for us, no one else will know that Sister Weilan has awakened the ability of immortality, otherwise your whole planet will be lost." Yu Shu also said, "At that time, I am afraid that because of the competition for Weilan's sister, there will be a scuffle between various forces, and your planet will be smashed to pieces. It is definitely not a joke, and strict secrecy must be maintained." Chapter 180 Mu Ying and number 039, S Guilt. Xiao Fan asked with some concern, "But the things we do, such as using Weilan's supernatural ability to make life-extending medicine, will it cause any harm to Weilan's body?" Li Yun shook her head and replied, This will definitely not cause any harm. On the contrary, there are great benefits. During this process, Sister Whelan can constantly improve her immortal ability and make herself stronger. It's a relationship that promotes, rather than harming one's interests, satisfying the other's interests. Xiao Fan was completely tempted all of a sudden. There was such a good thing. Of course, Xiao Fan also wanted to seize this opportunity. What's more, this also allows Xiao Fan to see a brighter future, and he may even bring the people around him to a complete rise in this universe. Xiao Fan looked at Zhang Whelan and said, "Whelan, let's try." Zhang Whelan nodded and said, "Everything is up to you. I will do whatever you ask me to do. Don't ask for my opinion anymore." Yushu smiled and said, "Then the cooperation agreement between the four of us has been reached. Congratulations to the four of us for this cooperation and becoming mutual trusting partners and the closest friends." Xiao Fan said, "Don't play tricks, don't say such nonsense, but I have one thing to remind you too. The real confidentiality work needs you two to do it well. No matter what kind of actions you two take, absolute secrecy must be achieved, and there must be no leaks." Li Yun replied seriously, "Don't worry about this. Whether it is purchasing equipment or raw materials, I will keep it absolutely confidential. I would rather not do it than let anyone find out." Yushu grinned and said, "In order to celebrate that the four of us have reached a cooperation agreement, do we want to celebrate?" Xiao Fan asked, "How do you plan to celebrate?" Yushu directly rushed towards Xiao Fan, and grabbed Zhang Whelan with the other hand. Not to mention Zhang Whelan, even Xiao Fan was stupefied. In Mu Hong's room, Mu Ying murmured, "Xiao Fan really doesn't talk too much. He won't come to see us soon, but now we've been waiting for several hours, and he didn't show up at all. Sister, is it very strange that he came back this time, especially those two women who appeared out of nowhere?" "I feel very wrong," Mu Hong said calmly. "The identities of those two women are very good, and they must be very unusual. The other sisters also think so. It is really amazing that they can be invisible, especially what they said about the convenience of invisibility. Stickers, definitely not something that our planet can have." Mu Ying said, "Sister, do you think there is a possibility that those two women are actually interstellar iron beetles?" And Xiao Fan was confused by their beauty. Mu Hong shook her head and replied, "This is impossible. I still know what kind of person Xiao Fan is. If those two women are really interstellar iron beetles, no matter how beautiful they are, it is impossible." Confused him, "I still have great confidence in him." Mu Ying snorted, "What's the use of your confidence in him? The key is whether he has confidence in himself." "I don't think he has confidence in himself," Mu Hong said seriously. "Don't worry, as long as he has time, he will definitely come here and explain the truth to us." Mu Ying snorted, "Then it depends on how important my sister is in his heart. Anyway, my confidence in how important my sister is in her heart has been shaken now. I hope this confidence will not collapse." At this time, the door of Mu Hong's room was pushed open, and Xiao Fan walked in and said with a smile, "I seem to have heard what others are saying. Whoever's confidence is shaken will also collapse." Mu Ying snorted and said, "I've been looking forward to and worrying about you for a long time, and finally got you back, but you, Xiao Fan laughed and said, "I said that even if I'm jealous, it's not your turn to be jealous." Mu Ying snorted, "I can do whatever I want. Can you control me? I will defend my sister. What's wrong? My sister and I are twin sisters, and our relationship is good. My sister has been unfairly treated. Of course, my heart is also very uncomfortable." Xiao Fan smiled and said, Okay, it's all my fault. I can apologize to you. I apologize to your sister. I also apologize to you. Am I here to see you now? I'm so curious, and I have a lot of questions. Now you don't need to ask, I'll tell you everything you want to know." Xiao Fan roughly talked about the relationship between Yushu and Li Yun, and also about the relationship between himself and the two of them. Of course, Xiao Fan himself is not an idiot. Okay, Xiao Fan will not hurt herself. After hearing this, Mu Ying was stunned and said, "I really didn't expect the origin of the two of them to be so mysterious. It seems that we should have a good relationship with them. This is very important for protecting our own planet and ensuring our own personal safety. It's all very important." Xiao Fan smiled and said, "Now you understand my good intentions. I can't just ignore the two of them, and then just focus on getting together with you. This will neglect the guests. Although they may not talk about it, I will say something, but I will definitely feel very unhappy in my heart, which will affect the relationship between us." Mu Ying said with some guilt. Okay, it's all my fault. I shouldn't lose my temper, but I can't blame it all. How did I know that the two girls you brought back have such extraordinary backgrounds? Really? I made it difficult for you. You have really paid a lot for us, and I sincerely apologize to you. Mu Hong looked at Xiao Fan with a smile and said nothing. Xiao Fan felt a little nervous when Mu Hong looked at her, and said with a guilty conscience, It's okay. This is what I should do. You don't have to be so polite with me. It's a family. By the way, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, just ask me. Mu Ying asked. Where is he now? Do I need to accompany him? I can't let him feel that I have been neglected. That is really not good. Xiao Fan hurriedly replied. No, Whelan is chatting with the two of them. For some reason, the two of them have a particularly good impression of Whelan. We don't care about them. Chapter 181 Shai Zhang Whelan. She was finally able to breathe the air freely. These two women were really heavy, and they were almost out of breath. Yushu hugged Zhang Whelan's neck again and said, Whelan, thank you. Your undead power breath has really helped me a lot, and I feel that my powers have improved a bit. Li Yun also said, Whelan, you are really kind. My ability has also improved a little. Zhang Whelan asked shyly, why does it help both of you a lot, but it doesn't seem to help Xiao Fan a lot? Li Yun explained, this is because the time for Xiao Fan to awaken the ability is a bit late. The two of us awakened the ability when we were just born, so using that way to obtain your undead ability just now is against us. It is of great help, but this does not mean that there is no help for Xiao Fan. It just needs to use some special equipment and materials to make special pills, which will definitely be of great help to Xiao Fan. Zhang Whelan said, then you two must find all those equipment and materials, and I will help Xiao Fan. Yu Shu said, you are so kind to that stinky man. I'm so jealous. Look at how that stinky man treats you. You can't even find a trace of him now. Zhang Whelan shyly said, don't talk about that again. It's too embarrassing. I've never done this before, and I haven't even thought about it before. It's because you are too bad. You can do whatever you want. Why are you dragging me? Yu Shu said with a smile. The four of us will be one existence in the future. Of course, we must use this method to firmly control the four of us together, so that the four of us can have absolute trust. Li Yun also echoed and said, Sister Whelan, you don't have to be angry. Don't you see that guy's very excited? He likes it so much. Why are you angry? The reason why Li Yun and Yu Shu are completely on the same front this time is actually very easy to understand, because Li Yun can also absorb more undead power breath through intimate contact with Zhang Whelan, which is very important for her own power. It is indeed very beneficial. What Yu Shu said before was all the truth. Both she and Li Yun had awakened supernatural powers when they were just born, almost close to innate supernatural powers, so they could directly use the breath of undead supernatural powers. Otherwise, how could the two of them see? Zhang Whelan couldn't wait to hold Zhang Whelan's hand. Of course, he did this because he was attracted by Zhang Whelan's immortality. Zhang Whelan said, I'm going out to meet my mother. She must be very worried. Yu Shu reluctantly replied, then come back quickly. We all have gifts for you. Zhang Whelan was surprised. You two have been lying on the bed. Why don't you go out with me? Li Yun shook her head and replied, I'm really exhausted. Let me have a rest. Yu Shu also nodded desperately and said, I still need to digest the undead breath I got from you, and I don't want to go out either. Zhang Whelan stopped talking to them, tidied up her appearance and walked out of the room. Yu Shu stretched her waist comfortably and said, I really didn't expect that I would encounter such a great opportunity when I came out this time. I originally came here with your idea, but I didn't expect that not only I got you, but I also got you. I found such a perfect undead ability awakener. It is really incomprehensible. There are no undead ability awakeners before. More or less there will be some side effects. Remember that the impact is not the perfection of the ability breath. But why? Sister Whelan is so perfect, there are no side effects at all, so perfect that people are jealous. But now I am not jealous of her, because I have her too. Li Yun turned on the sarcasm mode and said, you were so disgusting just now, you looked like a dog. Yu Shu snorted, yes, I am a dog. But you are not as good as a dog. Why do you rush to lick the things I have licked? Doesn't it mean that you are not as good as a dog? Li Yun said angrily, I'm different from you. I only want the breath of immortality. Yu Shu snorted coldly and said, no matter what your starting point is there any difference in the result? Don't you all do the same thing? It seems that Sister Whelan likes you more, And you really acted like that? Be gentler than me, I want to learn from you on this point, Li Yun said. Whelan is obviously a very shy girl, don't make fun of her in the future, she will lose face like this, and will avoid us. This is not good for you or me, Yu Shu said indifferently. Don't worry, you will never have any problems. Did you resist this kind of thing very much before? Did you look like a dog just now? Sister Whelan must be the same for the first time. I can't let it go, but I'll get used to it soon and fall in love with this feeling just like you, Li Yun said angrily. If you dare to talk to me in such a tone in the future, believe it or not, I will turn against you immediately. Yu Shu smiled and said, I said you can't be smarter. Do you think you are still in the dominant position now? It's not you, not me, or even Xiao Fan who is in the dominant position now. It's Sister Whelan. I advise you better not lose your temper. If you lose your temper, let Sister Whelan see it. Guess what Sister Whelan will think of you? She will think you are a very difficult person to get along with, and then she will try to avoid you, yes. But don't blame me for not reminding you, if such a situation really happens, it will be your loss, Li Yun said speechlessly. I was really dragged into the thief's boat by you, but you have to think of a way. We must get along with Sister Whelan harmoniously and happily. On this point I believe you can well done, because you have a thick skin. To be exact, you have no shame at all. Yu Shu smiled and said, okay, I'm shameless, I'm a slut. Are you satisfied when I say this about myself? If I didn't have you in my heart, I would never spoil you like this. Remember you in the future, be nice to me too. Don't lose your temper with me every now and then. Li Yun snorted and said, I advise you to put yourself in your place. The two of us are at best partners. Apart from that, there is no other relationship. If there is any other relationship, it is me. There is a special relationship with Xiao Fan, nothing to do with you. Yu Shu smiled and said, okay, just keep your mouth shut. I will do what you say. Can't I listen to you? But the two of us must have a serious discussion. How can we not arouse anyone's anger, doubt, pull all the machines and materials needed to this planet? Chapter 182 Xiao Fan and number 039, S Rejection. Yu Shu patted his thigh after listening, and said excitedly, Li Yun, I found that your brain is very good. This is indeed a very, very good way. If you can persuade him, bring Sister Whelan together. If we leave, we will be able to keep the secret between us even more, and the risk will be reduced a lot if we are exposed. Li Yun nodded and said, now we'll see if this guy can accept our proposal, but I don't think he's optimistic. He's a very stubborn guy. Yu Shu smiled and said, it's up to people. If we don't try it, how can we know the result? In addition, we can also talk about this idea with Sister Whelan and see what Sister Whelan thinks. Li Yun nodded and replied, if we can talk to Sister Whelan, I'm afraid there is a 70% chance of success in this matter, but it is obvious that Sister Whelan is a very independent person when facing that guy. I hope opening a breakthrough from her body is not a particularly realistic thing. Yu Shu nodded involuntarily, thinking that Li Yun's analysis was quite correct. At this time, Xiao Fan came back. Xiao Fan has already walked around outside, of course in a hurry, and the reason is very simple. He is more worried about Zhang Whelan. After all, this is the first time for Zhang Whelan. He was really worried, so he hurried back, but Xiao Fan didn't see Zhang Whelan, but only saw Yu Shu and Li Yun. Xiao Fan hurriedly asked, where is Whelan? Why are you two alone? Li Yun smiled and said, Sister Whelan is worried about her mother, so she went to find her mother. Don't worry, Sister Whelan is adapting well. Only then did Xiao Fan feel relieved, and asked, why aren't you two getting up? Li Yun said, Xiao Fan, I have a very important matter to discuss with you. Don't be angry whether you agree or disagree after listening to it. If you think my suggestion is not feasible, you can directly reject it. Of course, if you think if possible, you can put forward any requirements and conditions. Yu Shu also said, the two of us are able to make such a suggestion for your own good, and it is for the good of Sister Whelan. You should not refuse hastily, otherwise it will be a waste of our good intentions. Xiao Fan asked curiously, are we still so polite between us? If you have any suggestions, feel free to say them. I'll listen to them and see if they work or not. Li Yun said, the two of us discussed it carefully just now. No matter how careful we are, the raw materials and machinery transported by spaceships from such a faraway place are very easy to be exposed, so for better confidentiality, and for the sake of to better protect your planet, I think you and Sister Whelan should go with us. Only in this way can the risk of exposure be reduced. Of course, if you and Sister Whelan feel homesick, you can come back when the time is right. Yushu also said, Xiao Fan, we made such a suggestion for the benefit of you and Sister Whelan. Of course, we also have our own considerations, so that the two of us will reduce the risk of exposure. We all hope that you can seriously think about our suggestion. Xiao Fan said seriously, your suggestions are really pertinent to me, and I can tell that you are really thinking about us, but now I don't want to leave my planet, because there are many people here. My family and friends, more importantly, I know my own strength. I am leaving my own planet to go to a planet with a higher level of your civilization. I am afraid I can only be a very weak weakling. I don't want to be like this, Li Yun said. Growing needs a process. Maybe you will become very weak when you reach our planet, but have you ever thought that maybe you will grow faster? Yushu also hurriedly promised, I don't think you need to worry about these things at all. Li Yun and I will do our best to protect you, and we will use our lives to ensure your safety. Xiao Fan looked at the two beauties in front of him, but still shook his head and said, maybe one day I will go to your planet, but definitely not now. And I will definitely not go alone, I will take my friends with me, so I can only refuse your kindness. Li Yun wanted to continue persuading Xiao Fan, but was stopped by Yushu, who said, since you don't want to, then forget it. Anyway, this is just a suggestion from us, you don't have to agree to it. Whether you agree or not, promise, we are all close partners, we are just more cautious when doing things. Yushu is still a very smart woman. Li Yun nodded after listening. Xiao Fan said with a smile, I'm really sorry this time, but I hope you can really forgive me from the bottom of my heart. Yushu hugged Xiao Fan's neck and said, what nonsense, I belong to you, what is your understanding? But now I want you to measure it for me, okay? Li Yun sneered, what a slut. Yushu snorted coldly and said, you are right, I am indeed a complete bitch. But even if I am a bitch, I am only Xiao Fan's bitch. What does it have to do with you? What do you eat? What kind of vinegar? Xiao Fan had a headache and said, okay, stop bickering. Now at my base, always pay attention to some influences. Don't destroy my good image in the eyes of my friends. Li Yun couldn't help laughing and said, I said you are really a thick-skinned guy. Don't you know what kind of image you are in the eyes of your friends? Are you still pretending to be confused here? If you don't know, you can go out and ask, and everyone will answer you. You are a complete scumbag. But Yushu said seriously, what's wrong with the scumbag? He has the capital of a scumbag. I like this kind of scumbag, and the scumbag is not hypocritical, unlike some people who clearly want it very much in their hearts, but still say it in their mouths, just want to say some sanctimonious words, and then start to twist your mind when you can't get it. Such a person is disgusting, Li Yun said angrily. Yushu, you are such a slut. Don't criticize Sang and scold. Why? If you want to scold me, just scold me. Why are you saying these accusations against Sang and why? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183 Never Let You Go. Li Yun was really angry this time. Her extremely handsome face was a little red. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, okay, we are so close, so don't fight each other. Yushu said aggrievedly, you also saw that I didn't take the initiative to provoke him, but he took the initiative to provoke me. I really don't understand why she always dislikes me. She must be jealous of me. Li Yun sneered and said, ghosts are jealous of you. You are a complete slut. Why should I be jealous of a slut? It's unreasonable, Xiao Fan said helplessly. I said that it is not a matter for the two of you to stay here all the time. Will it arouse suspicion from both of you? Get rid of it, and I will be more at ease in my heart. Yushu took out a bracelet and 2 invisible sticky notes and said, honey, this is for you. The invisible sticky notes are good for you to protect your tracks, and this bracelet contains a more powerful energy bomb, is many times more powerful than the energy bomb that Li Yun gave you. There are a total of 27 energy bombs in it. It is no exaggeration to say that any one of the energy bombs is more powerful than all the energy bombs that Li Yun gives you combined. All are big. Li Yun pursed her lips and said, what's there to show off? I really don't know how to be ashamed. Take what a man gave me, and immediately give it to another man. Bah, scumbag. Yushu was not angry and smiled. Are you jealous of me because you can't give such a gift? Yes, these things were given to me by Prince Mingjin. But what's the matter? I treat myself as a whole, handed it over to Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan didn't get a piece of trash. How could I be a scumbag? Li Yun sneered and said, you are complete. Am I a junk? Xiao Fan hastily changed the topic and said, how powerful is this energy bomb? I can probably use a few energy bombs to kill all those interstellar armors. Yushu thought for a while and said, probably 3 energy bombs should be enough. Xiao Fan asked again, how to use these energy bombs? Li Yun hurriedly said, the method of using the energy bomb I gave you is exactly the same, but the power is much greater, and the others are no different. Yushu smiled and said, what you are talking about is a general energy bomb device, but the energy bomb device I gave to my baby is more advanced. It does not need to be thrown by hand, it can be launched directly, and it is faster and can attack the target. More accurate. Guaranteed to be absolutely foolproof. Li Yun snorted and said, look at you, you are so beautiful. When Prince Mingjin handed this thing to you, you must have been very stinky too. Did you kiss Prince Mingjin? Li Yun deliberately hit Yushu, and Yushu was not angry and said, I know you are attacking me on purpose, deliberately provoking the relationship between me and my baby, but I am not angry, my old lady. It really makes you very angry, disappointed. My old lady has always been a very cold personality with Prince Mingjin, so even though he gave me such a precious gift at that time, I didn't have any special reaction, I just took it very flatly. Li Yun looked at Xiao Fan and said, Xiao Fan, you now know what double-faced people are, and what hypocrisy and sanctity are, right? This bitch admits that she is a bitch, and a sanctimonious bitch at that. Hey, Yushu scolded angrily, you shit, believe it or not, I will tear your mouth apart. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, okay, stop bickering, you two. And go back to ensure the successful implementation of your respective plans. Yushu, when you go back here, you must make sure that no one from Prince Mingjin is missing. Get caught. Li Yun, you must ensure that Yushu is absolutely safe, and no accidents will happen. Li Yun smiled and said, she is just a cheap bitch, why do you care about him so much? Don't worry, she will never die, I promise to save her life. Yushu said angrily, honey, you can see now, she is such a ruthless woman, I am really worried, she will definitely take the opportunity to retaliate against me. Or just plan to execute it in reverse. I killed all the people of Princess Yujin, and I am very different from this bitch. I am very magnanimous, and can definitely ensure that this bitch will not suffer any harm. Xiao Fan felt that I was having a headache for a while. The two women got better for a while, and became enemies of each other for a while. It's really fickle. Xiao Fan could only persuasion helplessly. Your status is more special, and there will be less doubts after you go back. After all, Li Yun's status cannot be compared with your status, so you have to make some sacrifices. What's more, I hate Prince Mingjin very much. Yushu suddenly smiled and asked, then tell me the truth, why do you hate Prince Mingjin? Is it because he is my mother's fiancé? Xiao Fan sneered, Yushu, are you provoking me on purpose? Believe it or not, I'm beating you hard. Yushu said nonchalantly, come here if you have the ability. It seems that I am afraid of you. Let me tell you the truth. If the two of us really fight one-on-one, it may not be who is the last one alive. Xiao Fan was furious. 4 women who dared to provoke him, he must be severely punished, and he must not show any mercy. Yushu let out a scream and shouted, Xiao Fan, you are a bastard. If you dare to walk the dry road of my mother will never let you go. Yushu was screaming on the sidelines. Some people were not afraid of big troubles watching the excitement, but Li Yun was actually cheering on the sidelines. Yushu looked at Li Yun and said viciously, you bitch, you are watching my mother's joke now, and you will not be able to escape after a while. If you don't believe me, let's wait and see. The smile on Li Yun's face froze, the voice of cheering stopped abruptly, and she looked at Xiao Fan with some fear. This man won't really let herself go. This man's bottom line is very low. Maybe it will be my turn after a while. I don't want to be like that. Li Yun said a few words in a panic to go to perform the task, and then left in a hurry. From the bottom of her heart, Li Yun is really afraid of such a thing. It should really be very painful. Chapter 184 The Reward I Want. It is very easy for me to find the interstellar iron beetle command now, because Yushu has already told me the exact location of the interstellar iron beetle command. Before leaving, Yushu made a special confession that Prince Mingjin's child must find a way to stay. There is no way to keep the child alive, and the dead must keep the body. She has a special use. Although Yeshu didn't say anything about the special use, Xiao Fan can roughly guess that she plans to use this as a bargaining chip to regret the marriage in the future. Of course, Xiao Fan will find a way to meet Yushu's request. Yu Wenli found Xiao Fan. The smile on Yu Wenli's face was a little mysterious, and Xiao Fan felt a little guilty. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, I still have some very important things to do. You and Sister Xia should cooperate well to protect the safety of our base, especially to find a way to protect Xiao Li. Xiao Fan turned around to leave after finishing speaking, but Yu Wenli said lightly, are you leaving like this? Don't you want to say something? I think you should have a lot of things you want to say to me. Is it me you guessed wrong? You have reached the point where you have nothing to say to me. Xiao Fan stopped and said helplessly, I said, can you talk to me without this tone? What does it mean that the two of us have nothing to say, and the two of us have not yet reached the point where we know everything? Yu Wenli snorted, it's because you don't put your heart on me at all. If you were a little more attentive to me, would we still have such a relationship now? Xiao Fan said helplessly, isn't there nothing I can do? You can also see that I am either fighting or on the way to fight. I am also very tired. Yu Wenli sneered and said, you are indeed very tired, and the battles are also very frequent, one after another in our base, so I really believe what you said, it is really very tired. Xiao Fan said with an embarrassed smile, you are a very smart woman, and I don't need to hide it from you. Indeed, what you see is true, and what you analyze is correct. I am a thick-skinned woman, and there is no need to deny it. I used to think that I still have a good image in your hearts, but now I know that I have a bad image in your hearts, so I don't care anymore. Yu Wenli said sarcastically, it is important to have self-knowledge, which is not bad for you. You do have a certain amount of self-knowledge, and you really don't have any image. If you say you have to have an image, you are a scumbag, and you can't be a scumbag if you are a scumbag. I can't figure it out. How can there be a man like you who has no bottom line in this world? Xiao Fan smiled wryly and said, it's just that you see me as if I'm happy and happy. In fact, I really paid a lot. I protect you at my expense. If you think about it carefully, no matter which of those two women it has the ability to destroy our base. Did you see that I have these two bracelets? They were given to me by those two women and told me to blow up the command post of the interstellar iron beetle. If they want, they just move with just one thought, we can use this thing to destroy our base 10,000 times. You may not believe what I say, but I am absolutely not exaggerating. I know you can't understand, you think I'm just being ridiculous, but I really can't help it. The gap between us and them is too big, so for the safety of my relatives and friends, what can I do? I can only make false claims with them, sacrifice myself to make them happy, in exchange for our safety. The expression on Yu Wenli's face became serious. Xiao Fan saw that she was fooling around well. Xiao Fan pretended to sigh a long time and continued, no matter how much you don't understand me, no matter what kind of image I am in your eyes, as long as I can guarantee your safety, I don't care at all. It's about to start again, to destroy the entire headquarters of the interstellar iron beetles by myself. This is the task they entrusted to me. I know, it's very dangerous, but I have to go for you. Yu Wenli asked emotionally, they are doing too much? How can they let you go alone? It's too dangerous. I won't allow you to go. Xiao Fan couldn't help but feel secretly happy. As long as people are shameless to a certain extent, they can restore some of their image. On the contrary. Xiao Fan said impassionedly, this is the price of our weakness. Maybe I won't be able to come back this time, but it doesn't matter. I believe you can go further without my leadership. Heaven blesses you, and I hope you will be strong when the time comes. After Xiao Fan finished speaking, he turned around and left. Yu Wenli hugged Xiao Fan tightly from behind and said, I won't let you go. I will go instead of you. It was all my fault before. You sacrificed so much. I am still right. It's all my fault that you made a small temper. This time it's my turn to pay for you. Give me the things, and I will carry out this task. Xiao Fan is beautiful in his heart. I still have some tricks. This little girl was stupefied by my coaxing, although it is very immoral, but it is really cool. Xiao Fan smiled and said, it's enough for me that you have such thoughts. Don't worry too much about which of us will carry out the task, because objectively speaking, I have a better chance of surviving than you. The base is waiting for me. If I can come back alive this time, how do you plan to reward me? Yu Wenli cried, what reward do you want? I can give it to you now. Why do you have to wait for you to return from the mission? Xiao Fan secretly wondered if he had acted a little too much. This is really a bit bad. Now is the absolute sage time. Xiao Fan pretended to be deep and said, Wenli, I know your heart. But you must wait for me to come back, because this is one of my thoughts. As long as I think of this thought, I will muster infinite emotions courage, no matter how great the difficulties are, no matter how many obstacles I overcome, I will always want to come back, and I will always want to come back to ask for the reward you gave me, so this reward cannot be given to me now, it must be my thoughts. Yu Wenli cried, do what you say, I will listen to you, and I will never fight against you again. But no matter what, you have to come back alive. If you can't come back alive, I must die. So even if it's for me and others, you must think about coming back alive. Xiao Fan nodded and replied, don't worry, I will never live up to your expectations, and I will never let you down. I will definitely come back alive. Those interstellar iron beetles can't keep me. I still want to come back alive, and my reward. Chapter 185 Yu Wenli in number 039, S grievance. Xiao Fan turned around, gently wiped away her tears and said, actually, between the two of us, I owe you an apology. When I kept you by my side in the first place, the methods I used were indeed inappropriate, it's fair and above board. I still feel a little guilty when I think about it now. I should apologize to you. Yu Wenli snorted and said, you also know that you did too much at the beginning. You want someone to be your slave girl, and you want to be his master. Do you know how wronged I was at that time? Sometimes I think of that time, it feels very complicated. Xiao Fan asked, very puzzled. Why is it complicated? Yu Wenli replied, at the beginning, when I thought of such a scene, I felt a lot of humiliation, but then gradually I didn't feel the humiliation, and felt that it was actually a good memory between us, but as soon as it makes me angry, I feel that it is my humiliation. Xiao Fan said with a smirk, I know you women can't control yourself, you are moody. Yu Wenli broke Xiao Fan's words and shouted, I said, can you talk? If you can't talk, if you can't coax women, you'd better shut up and don't talk. Are you trying to make me happy? Or are you trying to make me angry on purpose? I suspect that you are trying to make me angry on purpose, Xiao Fan said with a smirk. Why do you think so badly of me? If you beat me, you will love me if you beat me. If you don't fight or scold you, you won't love each other. Haven't you heard of this sentence? Yu Wenli suddenly lowered her head and said, sometimes you don't make such jokes with me. I'm actually not good at making jokes. I will feel shy. Xiao Fan laughed and said, no way, you know how to be shy? I want to go out and see if the sun is coming out from the west, or the east, or is there sun in all directions? Yu Wenli said angrily. I said, do you know how to say a word? Why can't people know how to be shy? How can they be thick-skinned? Let me tell you that when I hugged you just now, it was the first time I hugging a man. I have always kept myself clean, and my skin is not as thick as you think. Xiao Fan hurriedly said. I said, why are you so serious? I was just joking with you. Are you so serious? I apologize to you again. Okay, I won't joke with you in the future. Yu Wenli said angrily. What do you mean? Are you a man? Don't you even have the courage to joke with me? Because I'm too ugly, or are you afraid of me? Xiao Fan deeply felt a sense of powerlessness. Women are too difficult to figure out. What do you mean? What exactly do you want me to do to make you satisfied? Yu Wenli said again. I don't dislike you joking with me. It's just that when our relationship gets closer, we can make jokes whatever we want in the future. Before that, don't be so thick-skinned by others. I'm really a little shy, because I haven't given it to you for the first time. Xiao Fan smirked and said, okay, I understand what you mean. It's all my fault. I must have a good grasp of the jokes in the future. I'm leaving now. Don't get rid of those interstellar iron beetles sooner. Kill them all. I feel very uneasy. Before I leave, I will give you a task. You must protect two people. One is Xiaoli and the other is Whelan. Especially Whelan's undead ability is very important to you. We have played a big role, and you will definitely get huge benefits in the future. Yu Wenli snorted and said, you really look down on people with dog eyes. Who do you take me for? Even if I don't get any benefits, I will definitely protect everyone in our underground base seriously, and use my life to protect you. Can rest assured about the safety of each of them. Xiao Fan said in a low voice, you are a person who acts with a little sense of propriety. I'm not asking you to sacrifice your life to protect everyone here. I don't need to explain this sentence more clearly. You should also know me. What do you mean? In my heart, your life is very, very precious, even more important than mine. I don't allow you to sacrifice yourself casually. Your life is not so cheap. After Xiao Fan finished speaking, She turned around and left. Yu Wenli looked at Xiao Fan's leaving back. Her face was a little dull at first, and then the corners of her mouth turned up slightly. She couldn't hide her joy. What did this man mean by what he just said? He said that his own life is also very important, and he would not allow himself to sacrifice casually. He said that his own life is more important than his own. Did he mean what he said? But when this man said those words just now, the expression on his face was so serious. It seemed that what he should say was from his heart. Yu Wenli felt very, very happy that she had such an important position in his heart. In this apocalypse, everyone's heart is inevitably dusty to some extent, and warmth is rare, but Yu Wenli feels very warm now. Xiao Fan has brought too much warmth to herself, and Yu Wenli's heart is full of warmth. There are countless, but she just had all these feelings in her heart and didn't express them. Yu Wenli turned around to go back to her room, but saw Tan Fifei, and Tan Fifei said exaggeratedly, "Sister, I was really surprised. I couldn't believe what I heard just now. I said your reaction it's a bit too slow. And don't you think that your slow reaction will make yourself very disadvantaged?" Yu Wenli's pretty face immediately blushed and said angrily, "You are such a bad girl. How can you hide behind and eavesdrop on others? Don't you think it's immoral for you to do so? My sister can't wait to hit you. It took you a while to relieve your anger. You eavesdropped, and even dared to laugh at your sister. You deserve to be beaten." Tan Fifei smiled and said, "Sister, if you want to hit me, I won't hit you back anyway. Because I can't beat you at all, sister." But sister really didn't laugh at sister just now, but wanted to teach sister how to be a human being, especially how to teach my sister how to be a woman. Let me tell you a word, sister, don't dislike it. Women sometimes have to keep themselves clean, but sometimes a woman who is too clean will be a fatal injury to myself, especially in front of him. If you are still clean and self-conscious, it means that my sister can't get along with herself. There is a very good saying, women are not bad and men don't love. This is a wise saying for us women. Chapter 186 Falling into the Trap by Mistake. He must remove all the interstellar iron beetles as soon as possible. Now that he has such an opportunity, he doesn't want to have any delays, lest uncontrollable changes will occur, because Xiao Fan is also very clear in his heart that neither Li Yun nor Yu Shu is in an absolute dominant position, so he can't put all his hopes on the two of them. Some things must be actively fought for by himself. Xiao Fan's speed was getting faster and faster, and soon several small black spots appeared in front of him. Xiao Fan couldn't help but be moved. It should be the security personnel of the interstellar iron beetle. Xiao Fan's guess seemed to be very correct, and soon Xiao Fan heard the inquiry. "Stop immediately, stay where you are, and report your identity and the mission you are performing. Otherwise, we will regard you as an enemy and I will attack you indiscriminately, and you will be responsible for all the consequences arising therefrom." Xiao Fan stopped flying and replied, "I am a member of the 9th Regiment of the Imperial Guards. I have a very important situation to report to the headquarters. If there is any delay, all consequences will be borne by you." Xiao Fan broke the name of the Imperial Guard Heavenly Corps, which still attracted the attention of the other party. However, it didn't arouse the other party's respect. Instead, I heard a yin and yang voice saying, "I heard that the entire army of your Imperial Guards was wiped out, and the spaceship was blown up. I don't know if it's true." Through this yin and yang words, Xiao Fan can also hear that the guy on the other side has a deep resentment towards the Imperial Guards. That's why at this time he seemed so eccentric and gloating. Xiao Fan pretended to be very angry and said, "You are such a damn guy. Our Imperial Guard suffered a heavy loss. Not only did you not feel the slightest sadness, you even showed it. Such gloating. Don't you feel worried about the future of our entire interstellar iron beetle race?" The guy on the other side sneered and said, "You don't really think that your Imperial Guards control the future of our interstellar iron beetles, do you? If you really think so, it can only show your ignorance. It's okay if you are usually superior. Now that the entire army is almost wiped out, you are still so arrogant. It can be seen that you have not cleared your position until now. Now I give you a chance to speak again. How should you speak to me?" Xiao Fan couldn't help thinking in his heart, what did this guy mean by these words? Why did he say that the fate of the interstellar iron beetle was never in the hands of the Imperial Guards? It seems that the guy talking to him knows a lot of secrets. Xiao Fan suddenly thought of the son of Prince Mingjin that Yu Shu wanted. Could it be that the guy talking to him knew this secret? It seems that I need to test his tone. Maybe there will be some unexpected gains. Xiao Fan Yu sneered and said, "You are so brave. You dare to speak to me in such a tone. Do you know who you are? Don't you know how to call respected adults when you see the Imperial Guards? Do you want me to call you a respected adult instead? The interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side also sneered. You are right, you should indeed call me my lord. At this point, you should put yourself in the right place. Do you still have any capital to be arrogant in front of us? Now the only one who really controls the future of our race is our command. Xiao Fan said intentionally, you know what? Our Imperial Guards have made such a big sacrifice, isn't it all for the future of our race? In order to improve the genetic level of our race and get rid of the status of slaves, do you know how much we have paid? Now hope is in sight, but you are so arrogant in front of me, so ignorant of even if I kill you, the headquarters will not say anything. The interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side said coldly, I advise you not to feel good about yourself anymore. Is that a sacrifice you made? It was a decision made jointly by our command and you, and your Imperial Guards. A destruction has nothing to do with the future sons of our race. Xiao Fan couldn't help but feel happy. It turns out that the son of Prince Mingjin is called the son of the future, but Xiao Fan felt a little confused at the same time. Isn't this the biggest secret of the interstellar iron beetle? Why does a guy in charge of security know such a secret? This is very unreasonable. Xiao Fan then decided to probe further, and said angrily, you bastard, this is the biggest secret of our race. How are you qualified to know such a secret? And how can you tell such a secret casually? You know I don't know that once it's leaked out, our race really has no future. The interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side sneered, I advise you to stop talking to me in this tone. If you continue to talk to me in this tone, you will bear the consequences. As for whether I am qualified to know such a secret, it has nothing to do with you. But I know for sure that you really have no future. Xiao Fan couldn't help being startled. The other party obviously wanted to attack him, and it was even more inappropriate to clean up. This is the rhythm of trying to silence him, but just as Xiao Fan was thinking, the other party suddenly threw a few energy bombs towards Xiao Fan with great precision. This is directly a killer move. It seems that he has the intention of killing himself, which is even more unreasonable. An instinctive intuition told Xiao Fan that the interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side was probably not a real interstellar iron beetle. Otherwise, even if he couldn't get used to the Imperial Guards, he wouldn't directly kill him like this. While dodging quickly, Xiao Fan shouted angrily, you damned bastards, you are not from the headquarters at all. Who are you? Why are you pretending to be from the headquarters? Do you know what you will face if you do this? You will surely die. Boom boom boom. The violent explosion drowned out Xiao Fan's voice. Although Xiao Fan dodged in time, he was still affected by the violent explosion. His body kept rolling and spinning in the air. This feeling was really uncomfortable. Although he evaded in time and did not receive direct damage, the aftermath of the explosion also caused him some minor injuries, but it can be further confirmed that the energy bomb used by the opposite guy is not the low-level energy used by the interstellar iron beetle A bomb, but a very advanced energy bomb, at least comparable to the energy bomb used by Li Yun. Xiao Fan can really confirm that the guy opposite is definitely not an interstellar iron beetle, and he is probably a fake just like himself. But there is one question, so what is the real identity of the other party? Is this the person of Prince Mingjin, and this person is the person of Princess Yujin? Chapter 187 I want to be an Oriole. I am really fucking unlucky, because I was affected by the interstellar iron beetle. Xiao Fan suddenly felt a feeling of heart palpitations. He hurriedly looked up and found that many energy bombs were thrown over again. It seemed that he would not stop until he was blown up to death. Relying on the aftermath of the energy bomb explosion, Xiao Fan desperately avoided to the distance, but the energy bombs exploded one after another. Xiao Fan was not directly hit for the time being, but the accumulated minor injuries were more and more, and he vomited blood out. Xiao Fan felt that it was getting worse and worse. If he let the other party attack him like this again, he would die here sooner or later. And it is more powerful. It is a very good means of counterattack. Xiao Fan was not willing to use it before, but now it seems that he has to use it. But at this time, I suddenly heard a voice from the opposite side saying, okay, stop throwing energy bombs. That interstellar iron beetle should be killed. Even if it is not killed, it should be killed. We can't make too much noise here, otherwise it will arouse the suspicion of the interstellar iron beetle command. Another voice said, it's really unlucky. Our plan is flawless. Why did a member of the interstellar iron beetle guardian heaven suddenly appear, and he obviously doubted us? The first voice said, don't be too upset, it's just some small flaws. and it won't affect the overall situation. The interstellar iron beetle command will be destroyed no matter what this time. Their son of the future must be wiped out. Xiao Fan's body was still spinning and flying in the air because of the aftermath of the explosion, but he still vaguely heard the other party's words. Maybe these guys were very confident and didn't have the consciousness to lower their voices, so they didn't notice anything at all. Keep it secret. Let Xiao Fan also know through their conversation. It must not be Li Yun's person. It should be Yashu's person. If it is Li Yun's person, that is to say, Princess Yujin's person, then you should not kill the future son, because the future son is more useful to Princess Yujin if he is alive. Even if you want to kill the future son, can't let this future son die in ashes, so it can only be Yashu's people, but it doesn't seem to make sense. If they are really Yashu's people, they should all be summoned by Yashu now. With Yashu's identity, do these people dare not obey the call? Moreover, he dared to act privately, which was somewhat unjustifiable. Xiao Fan immediately made the most accurate judgment. Prince Mingjun must have sent two groups of people, one in the light and the other in the dark, and the guys on the opposite side should be the dark part, but the illusion here is Yashu was also kept a secret. It seems that Prince Mingjun doesn't absolutely trust Yashu. He is also a very cunning guy. The corners of Xiao Fan's mouth kept bleeding. His injuries were getting worse and worse. Finally, the aftermath of the explosion was completely over. Xiao Fan's body was floating in the air. Now he felt as if his internal organs had been subverted. Really? It's so uncomfortable. Xiao Fan also has a strong willpower. If it were someone else, even if he is not dead now, he must have lost consciousness. Xiao Fan tried his best to wake himself up and keep his hearing sharp, but he could only hear the other party still talking. As for what they were talking about, Xiao Fan couldn't hear it at all. Xiao Fan thought in his heart that what the other party did was actually something he had to do, not to mention that he is still injured. He can turn around and return to the base, and then wait for the other party to destroy the future son of the interstellar iron beetle. In order to protect his future son, the iron beetle must go all out to fight the opponent. In the end, one of the two sides will definitely perish. Such a choice is definitely more beneficial to him, but Xiao Fan is still a little worried about Yushu and Li Yun. When he made plans with these two women, he didn't take this factor into consideration. This uncertain factor, if no action is taken, is likely to affect Yushu and Li Yun. Now that I am a close partner with them, Xiao Fan can't ignore this matter just because of their great cooperation plan in the future, let alone the relationship between them colluding with each other. But what should we do now? Xiao Fan's eyes lit up and he had an idea. Xiao Fan started to make a detour, and this time he directly used the invisible post-it note to secretly approach the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle. He wanted to tell the information here to the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle. Let the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle set a trap for these guys. It is best to wipe out all these guys, then make a aureole by yourself, and then wipe out all the interstellar iron beetles. This not only achieves your goal, but also completely eliminates the new uncertain factor. It can be said to be a perfect plan that kills two birds with one stone. Xiao Fan, with the help of the invisible sticky note, quickly fly to the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle. In fact, even if there is no cooperation plan between him and Li and Yashu, Xiao Fan will not watch these two women have an accident. Xiao Fan can ignore other people, and even help Yin, but these two women are his own women. Xiao Fan can't ignore it. If a person can be selfish enough to ignore his own people, then such a person is meaningless to live. Xiao Fan's flight speed is getting faster and faster. He has a feeling that the people sent by Prince Mingjun are still making arrangements, and it should not be time to do anything. If he rushes to the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle as soon as possible, maybe everything will be fine. It was too late, so Xiao Fan kept speeding up and flying regardless of his injuries. Xiao Fan only heard the sound of the wind in his ears getting faster and faster. It was true that he was injured due to his speed being pushed to the limit. The blood from Xiao Fan's mouth overflowed even more, dyeing his huge body bright red. This invisibly makes Xiao Fan look more like a person who is desperate to report the news. Now Xiao Fan insists on relying on his strong willpower. He knows that if he wants to truly realize his goal, he must really have to fight. Finally seeing the spaceship of the interstellar iron beetle command, Xiao Fan smiled with his blood-stained mouth. Prince Mingjun's people have not done anything yet, which means that he still has time, and he still has the opportunity to be an aureole. Chapter 188 Trapped. Xiao Fan hastily tore off his invisibility post-it note, His sudden appearance startled the interstellar iron beetles around him. Xiao Fan shouted first, "Take me to all the adults in the command center. We are surrounded by people now. The whole army will be wiped out soon." Xiao Fan's shout attracted everyone's attention. At this time, the spaceship shot out a blue light beam, which brought Xiao Fan into the spaceship. Xiao Fan saw 3 purple interstellar iron beetles. Xiao Fan deliberately pretended to be extremely panicked and shouted, "I am a member of the 9th Regiment of the Imperial Guard, and our entire army of the Imperial Guard was wiped out." A purple interstellar iron beetle said coldly, "You are too conceited. Annihilation is also expected. If you are more cautious, you will not suffer such a serious loss." Xiao Fan hurriedly said, "My lord, please let me finish my sentence. Our current headquarters is also facing great danger, and it is very likely that the entire army will be wiped out. I am risking my life to go forward. We are here to report. If we don't take immediate measures, we interstellar iron beetles really have no future. Because those damned guys are here for the sons of the future, they will not only kill us all, but also let the son of the future be wiped out." Hearing Xiao Fan's words, the 3 purple interstellar iron beetles all fell silent. They were very disturbed in their hearts. They actually came for the future son, and they wanted to make the future son disappear. There is only one person who can do this, that is Prince Mingjun. It seems that his own race is no longer of any value to Prince Mingjun, and it has completely become his burden. There were 3 purple interstellar iron beetles with angry eyes, and one of them asked, "Where did you get the information, and is this information accurate?" Xiao Fan replied, "My lord, please take a look at my injuries. I risked my life to come here. We are surrounded now. They may attack us at any time, and no one is left behind. Plan to live. If you still doubt me about intelligence at this point, we interstellar iron beetles really have no future." The interstellar iron beetle asked, "Tell us in detail what you know." Xiao Fan talked about how he met Prince Mingjun. Of course, Xiao Fan processed this a lot, and infinitely exaggerated Prince Mingjun's hostility towards the interstellar iron beetle. The 3 purple interstellar iron beetles were irritable and restless. Each of them was extremely irritable and angry. One of the purple interstellar iron beetles roared, "Prince Mingjun treats us like this, then even if we are going to die, we must bite off a piece of his flesh. I will issue an order now and fight them." Xiao Fan hurriedly said, "My lord, please calm down. Maybe we have a better way to deal with this matter. We can't act impulsively. We must be responsible for every member of our race, and we must also be responsible for our future sons." "Responsible? Can my lord listen to my opinion?" Another purple interstellar beetle looked at Xiao Fan and said, "You seem to have a very good plan, and now you can express your thoughts completely. If it is really useful, it can help our race get rid of the current crisis. We will definitely reward you heavily. You are the great hero of our race." Xiao Fan replied sternly, "Dear adults, I don't want to be a hero of our race. I am just saving our race. I am also a member of the race. I must be responsible for the future of our race. My thoughts, that's it. Since those damn guys want to sneak attack on us and quietly surround and eliminate us, why don't we come to a plan, pretend we don't know anything and set a trap for them. After they enter our trap, catch them all in one go, and kill them all." A purple interstellar iron beetle asked, "Your plan sounds like a very good idea, but what you said is a bit too general. You must have a complete idea in your mind. Now you can put it in your mind. All the complete ideas are stated in detail, and we can judge whether it can be implemented." Xiao Fan hurriedly said, "The subordinates believe that their fundamental purpose this time is our future sons. If we can use our future sons as a bait, we can definitely let them fall into our trap, and then we can definitely catch them. Destroy them all." A purple interstellar iron beetle sneered, "You have finally revealed your true purpose. We were all acting with you just now. Now tell me the truth, who are you? You came here to report to us. Are you trying to figure out the exact location of the future son? Have you betrayed our race and want to exchange the blood of our future son for your own glory and wealth?" Just after this guy finished speaking, a large mass of purple light shot out from his eyes. The light quickly enveloped Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan had no power to fight back at all. Even if he wanted to escape, he did not escape. Chance. Xiao Fan immediately felt that he couldn't move, as if he was tightly bound by a rope from top to bottom, and the binding was very, very strong. Xiao Fan knew that he was fucking fooled, and shouted, "My lord, how could you slander me like this? I risked my life to deliver a letter for the future of our race, but you treat me like this. Don't you think this is too cold for me?" If other people know about this, who will work for our race? The purple interstellar iron beetle sneered and said, your words can only deceive other people. It is wishful thinking to try to get away with us. From the moment you appeared, we judged that there must be something wrong with you. Sure enough, you showed your flaws in just a few words. I'm afraid your real purpose is to trick out the true position of the future sun. Do you think the three of us are idiots, so we can be fooled so easily? Another purple star beetle also said, answer all our questions truthfully, maybe we will make your death more comfortable, otherwise, let you taste how terrifying our methods are, and you will definitely regret coming here, but it is very sad that regret is of no use to you now. Chapter 189. But Xiao Fan didn't feel the slightest bit of frustration, but said very aggrieved, my lords, I know you don't believe me, I know you have doubts about me. I can understand these things. You do this not only is it not wrong, but it is right, and it is also responsible for our future sons. But I advise you to send someone to secretly investigate to see if we are really surrounded. If we are not surrounded, give me kill it, I have absolutely no regrets. A purple interstellar iron beetle said, you don't need to worry about this, we will definitely send people to be more cautious, but you must answer our question truthfully now. Who are you now? Why do you have invisibility? Post-it notes. Xiao Fan whispered in his heart that something was wrong. The three old fellows on the other side are really well informed. I am afraid that I just tore off the invisibility post-it note and aroused their suspicion and attention. It is absolutely impossible for these three guys to get into their own trap. Xiao Fan said solemnly, that's right, I did use an invisible sticky note just now in order to return to the headquarters smoothly, but I didn't seek refuge with anyone, let alone betray my race. The reason why I have an invisible sticky note is that's because I passed through a battlefield and picked up these spoils. A purple interstellar iron beetle immediately scolded, you are talking nonsense, how could you pass through such a battlefield, and there is no such battlefield here. You are still talking nonsense in front of us, don't you insist? Shall we punish you? If we punish you once, you will surely die instead of living, Xiao Fan said coldly, I'm telling the truth, why can't you believe me? Why can't there be such a battlefield here? I want you to think carefully, if what I'm telling is not the truth, I won't make up such an outrageous excuse and let you see through my lies at a glance. The three purple interstellar iron beetles fell silent after hearing this. Xiao Fan continued, the situation is far worse than we imagined. I'm afraid it's not just one side that wants to destroy us. Please think about it carefully, if no foreign forces intervene. How could the elite guards of the race be wiped out here? This is an absolutely impossible thing. Hasn't this matter caused enough reflection on the adults? Xiao Fan, every word you say is so sonorous and powerful, there is a deafening feeling. Xiao Fan continued, I know that it is right for adults to be cautious, but at this critical moment, every minute and every second is related to the future of our race and the safety of our future children. Every minute and second of time must not be wasted. When Xiao Fan said the last sentence, he was sobbing. Xiao Fan himself admired his acting skills, and his performance just now was definitely at the level of an actor. The three purple interstellar iron beetles still fell silent. It was obvious that they were a little moved by Xiao Fan's words, but they couldn't completely believe it. Xiao Fan also knew that it was impossible for the other party to completely believe in him, but he decided to strike while the iron was hot, and said, my lords, the future of our race is in the hands of the three of you, and the safety of the future sun is also in the hands of the three of you. In your hands, please make an accurate prediction as soon as possible, and you must not waste time. Then a purple interstellar iron beetle said, please describe the battlefield in detail to me, and tell us everything you saw verbatim. Remember not to omit anything, and then we will make our own judgments. Do you understand? Xiao Fan knows that now is a very critical moment. Whether he can successfully let the other party fall into his trap depends on whether the next words can impress the other party. Xiao Fan replied seriously, when I passed by that battlefield, the battle was not completely over at that time. It can only be said that it has entered the final stage. The fighting is still very fierce. I have never seen such a powerful battle. Big energy bomb, and so advanced. At this time, Xiao Fan deliberately put on a look of lingering fear and said, I used to think that the energy bombs in our hands were powerful enough, but after witnessing that battle, I realized that the energy bombs in our hands and those people's compared with the energy bomb, it is nothing worth mentioning. It seems that a small stream faces a vast ocean. It feels very, very scary, and it also makes me very, Very surprised, the 3 purple interstellar iron beetles are still listening quietly. Xiao Fan said with an even more terrified expression, maybe it's because their energy bombs are too powerful. The battle that shouldn't have come to an end so quickly has come to an end in an instant. It's extremely tragic. Many superpowers don't even have their own cells intact. It's really extremely tragic. At this time, a purple interstellar iron beetle interrupted Xiao Fan's cold words and asked coldly, "It's all nonsense. If it is really such a tragic battle, those superpowers can't even keep their own cells intact. Come down. How could you still pick up such spoils as invisible post-it notes? You are lying outright. If you dare to continue lying, be careful and we will use the most terrifying punishment for you." Xiao Fan couldn't help feeling remorse when he heard the other party's words. He was too busy describing how tragic the battlefield was, so why did he forget about it? Facing these 3 purple interstellar iron beetles, it is impossible to be an opponent. What's more, he was still tied up. The other 2 purple interstellar iron beetles also looked at Xiao Fan very unkindly. From their expressions, it can be judged that the 3 purple interstellar iron beetles are already full of murderous intentions, and it is really possible for them to attack Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan is ready to kill at any time. It is true that Xiao Fan exposed a lot of flaws. He fabricated lies on the spot. To make the lies 100% perfect, this difficulty is not ordinary. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190. He killed concubine Mingjun. Seeing the grievance on Xiao Fan's face, the purple interstellar iron beetle said, "Then you continue to say, you'd better be careful with me, don't let me see any flaws, otherwise I really want yours, life." In fact, although they doubt Xiao Fan, they are not stupid. They also know that they are not only stared at by Princess Yujin, but also by Prince Mingjun. Although they had doubts about Xiao Fan, the reason why they never acted was also because they were worried that what if Xiao Fan's information was true. So at this moment, it should be said that they have been patient with Xiao Fan and have been giving Xiao Fan a chance. Xiao Fan also knows that he can no longer run the train with his mouth full. He must be more logical, reveal as few flaws as possible, and not let the other party see that he is thinking. Xiao Fan then said, although the battlefield at that time was very tragic, many superpowers died, but there was a woman who did not die. It seemed that she was still the leader of the party. She disappeared suddenly at that time. I didn't understand why it could be like that. I thought she had the invisibility ability. I was very amazed at the time. There are still people with such abilities. To be honest, I still have some envy. A purple interstellar iron beetle roared, "Don't be so wordy, hurry up and get to the point," Xiao Fan hurriedly said, but she was seriously injured. Although she used the invisible post-it note to make her figure disappear, there was still a lot of blood dripping down. In fact, this revealed her whereabouts. I followed as the blood drop tracked her, and then I found an opportunity. At that time, she was probably too injured to fly. Although she was invisible, I found her position accurately because of the blood drop. Kill her in the past. The 3 interstellar iron beetles glanced at each other. For Xiao Fan's explanation, it was acceptable, and it also made sense logically. Xiao Fan continued, "After I killed her, her invisible post-it note also lost its function. I found an invisible post-it note from that woman's body, and then kept it as my trophy. On the way, I met guys ambushing our headquarters. They kept attacking me with energy bombs. If I hadn't used the invisibility sticky note, I'm afraid I wouldn't have come to the headquarters, and it would be impossible to tell you the news." Xiao Fan only dared to say that he found an invisible post-it note, because he was worried that if he had another one, the 3 guys in front of him would take it away, and he would suffer a heavy loss. A purple interstellar iron beetle asked, "You only found an invisibility post-it note from that woman's body. Don't you have any other loot?" Xiao Fan knows that the guy in front of him is still full of doubts about his words, but no matter how suspicious the other party is, he will never give his things to the other party. Xiao Fan smiled wryly and said, "3 respected adults, please think about how fierce the battle was at that time. The opponent must have used up all the available weapons, and the remaining 2 invisible sticky notes are for escape. Yes, one has been used, so I can only get the last one, which is already very lucky for me." The 3 purple interstellar iron beetles did not speak, And Xiao Fan's explanation made sense logically. Such a tragic battle must be on whoever, and no one will have any reservations. Of course, you can use whatever weapon you have. Weapons. So it totally makes sense that the woman doesn't have any other loot on her. Another purple interstellar iron beetle asked, please describe to me carefully what the woman you killed looked like. Although they haven't found any flaws in Xiao Fan's words for the time being, they still don't fully trust Xiao Fan's words. They asked Xiao Fan to describe the woman's appearance. In fact, they wanted to find flaws in Xiao Fan's answer. Xiao Fan thought quickly, how should he answer? Should he describe Li Yun's appearance, or describe Yu Shu's appearance? The relationship between these two women and himself is very unusual, and it is difficult to describe anyone's appearance. I'm a little sorry for them, but now that I've reached this point, if I dare to talk nonsense, otherwise all previous efforts may be wasted. Gritting her teeth, Xiao Fan thought, I'm sorry Yu Shu, let me describe your appearance. So Xiao Fan said, that woman is very beautiful, and very cold and arrogant, and her figure is also very perfect. The most important thing is that she said 2 words when she was dying. Before Xiao Fan finished speaking, the 3 purple interstellar iron beetles exclaimed at the same time, don't look at Xiao Fan who doesn't take Yu Shu's identity as concubine Mingjun seriously, but this identity is definitely a mountain-like existence in the eyes of others, which definitely makes everyone feel amazed. What kind of concubine is Ming? Isn't it Mingjun? 3 purple interstellar iron beetles stared at Xiao Fan. What kind of thing did this guy in front of him do to kill concubine Mingjun? My god, if this news is passed back, if Prince Mingjun if he knew, the consequences would be unimaginable. I'm afraid Prince Mingjun would bleed like a river in a fit of anger. I don't know how many people would die, and the guy in front of me who doesn't know the so-called, doesn't even know the identity of concubine Mingjun. What should I do now? Should I kill this guy in front of me immediately? And I absolutely must not let anyone know that this guy in front of me killed concubine Mingjun. Yes, and soon these 3 purple interstellar iron beetles vetoed this idea just now. Absolutely can't kill this guy in front of him. This guy in front of him has great use value. If my race can escape this time, maybe I can use this guy in front of me to make Prince Mingjun and Princess Yujin fight directly. And say that this guy belongs to Princess Yujin. The 3 purple interstellar iron beetles immediately planned to frame them. Of course, Xiao Fan didn't notice what the 3 guys were thinking. Xiao Fan continued, dear adults, I don't know why you are so surprised. Is the identity of that woman really important? Will it bring great danger to a race? Chapter 191, Scheming. So a purple interstellar iron beetle said, the identity of that woman is indeed very unusual. We have all heard of that woman's identity, but we say that her identity is unusual relative to ours. But put her in the Jade Emperor Starfield, her identity is very ordinary, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Xiao Fan couldn't help sneering in his heart, you 3 bloody old and cunning things, at this level, you are still playing tricks on me. If this is the case, then let's play with each other and see who can play who among us. Xiao Fan pretended to be a little bit clear and replied, I also think there's nothing special about her identity. If her identity is really special, she will not participate in the battle in person no matter what. The person who can participate in the battle in person, the identity certainly not too high. Another purple interstellar iron beetle responded, your analysis and judgment are very reasonable and very logical. All our doubts about you before have now been dispelled, so now we will talk about it in detail. What should be done, if we are really surrounded now, and those people are here for the children of the future, we really need to be prepared. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, we have to make preparations immediately, the time is very urgent. But if the other party makes a move now, then it will be too late for us to think about what to do. Xiao Fan sneered in his heart, damn bastards, you don't trust me at all in your heart. At the very least, even if you believe me, you plan to deceive me and use me, so let's see who can cheat who in the end up. The purple interstellar iron beetle said, we can all see that you are really thinking about our race. You really put the interests of the race first, and you are willing to sacrifice yourself for it. Makes us feel very admirable. You are so young and promising, all 3 of us salute you. The other 2 purple interstellar iron beetles also kept saying good things. Anyway, they kept throwing out all kinds of compliments. They kept putting high hats on Xiao Fan's head. If Xiao Fan really if it was an interstellar iron beetle, I am afraid that he is completely in a trance by now, but it is a pity that he is not an interstellar iron beetle. The purple interstellar iron beetle went on to say, you also said just now, no matter who our enemies are, They are all coming for our future sons. Our future sons are related to our future, our entire life, the future of the race, whether our entire race can get rid of the status of slaves, and whether it can reach a higher level. It all depends on the sons of the future, so no matter what, the sons of the future cannot be in any danger. Xiao Fan nodded and replied, indeed, for the sake of our ethnic group and the hope of our entire race, the children of the future must not be in any danger. The purple interstellar iron beetle stared at Xiao Fan and asked, are you willing to make certain sacrifices for the future of our race and become the hero of our entire race? Now, I solemnly propose this to you in the name of the headquarters. Request, please answer me seriously. Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in his heart. You damn old foxes are really digging a hole for me, so I'll just crawl into your hole and see what your plan is. I definitely won't fall into the pit. Maybe I will bring you all into the pit. Xiao Fan replied with a dignified expression, I don't know what the three respected adults want me to do. I will agree to whatever you ask me to do. As long as it is for our race and for our future sons, I will definitely do it. I will not refuse. If I risk my life and return to the headquarters to deliver the news, I am ready to sacrifice for our race, and I have absolutely no complaints or any hesitation. The purple interstellar iron beetle nodded and said, very satisfied, I am also very satisfied that you can have such a realization. Now put the future of our entire race on your shoulders, and put the future of our future sons on your shoulders. My hope is also placed on your shoulders. I hope you will bravely provoke this responsibility, although you will have to make some sacrifices, but our entire race will regard you as our hero, as our supreme hero. Another purple interstellar iron beetle said, we will write your heroic deeds into our history books. Your heroic deeds will be sung in the mouths of future generations of our entire race, and you will guide our entire race forward direction. We will always remember your heroic deeds. The more Xiao Fan listened, the more he felt that something was wrong. Did these damned bastards send him to death? From what I heard, it should be to let myself take the initiative to die, but I don't know what their intentions are. Xiao Fan decided not to speak, and listen to what kind of abacus they are. The harder you dig me, maybe it will be harder when you fall in. The purple interstellar iron beetle said again, we are now asking your opinion on behalf of the command, on behalf of our entire race. Now our entire race asks you to make self-sacrifice. Are you willing to make self-sacrifice? Xiao Fan nodded resolutely and replied, as long as the race needs it, I don't have any complaints even if I'm smashed to pieces. Just say what the three adults want me to do, as long as it's for the future of our entire race, I will never have any rejection. The purple interstellar iron beetle said, actually, what you need to do is very simple, but it is also a fatal situation. But if you are lucky enough to survive, we will give you great benefits. You will be directly upgraded to 9th level noble, and you will be responsible for the rebuilding of the entire Heavenly Guard Corps. Xiao Fan sneered in his heart, and started to paint cakes for me, but you all wanted to paint cakes for me to seduce him, but I told you that if you want to talk about the ability of making cakes, I will be the second in this world, and no one dares to say the first. Since you are fooling me, then I will let you fool me casually, and when I see who can fool me in the end, I will give you a trick, take you all into the ditch smoothly, and let you all finish playing. Chapter 192 Intrigue. The three purple interstellar iron beetles are all staring at Xiao Fan, and any slight change in Xiao Fan's expression can never escape the eyes of these three old foxes. Of course Xiao Fan would not show any flaws at this time, but said very firmly, I absolutely promise to complete the task, no matter how dangerous this task is, I will never let you adults down. The three purple interstellar iron beetles didn't find any flaws on the fire's face. They all looked at each other imperceptibly, and then one of the purple interstellar iron beetles said, we know it's very good for you to take risks like this. It's not fair, and we won't be so heartless. You can tell us what conditions you have. We will try our best to satisfy you. You won't let us down, and we won't let you down either. Xiao Fan replied very righteously, it's my honor to sacrifice for our race. I don't have any requirements or conditions, but before that, I want to meet the son of the future, because this way I can be better, pretending to be the son of the future, so as not to let the other party discover the flaw before taking me away. In addition, this is also to fulfill a long-standing wish of mine. I have long wanted to see the son of the future, and I hope this wish can be fulfilled before I perform the task. The three purple interstellar iron beetles looked at each other and nodded slightly, because what Xiao Fan said was very reasonable. If you want to pretend to be the son of the future, you must at least have a subjective understanding of the son of the future. If you don't even have this subjective understanding, how can you act like it? If the acting is not good, then let the other party see the flaws at a glance. Not only will it be impossible to realize your original plan, but it is very likely that there will be huge loopholes in your entire plan, causing unnecessary huge losses. So Xiao Fan, the request is reasonable and should be supported. A purple interstellar iron beetle said, we can agree to your request, but the son of the future is too important to us, and you also understand that the son of the future is related to the future of our race, so before you go to see the son of the future at that time, we must take certain measures to make you lose your vision and hearing. Of course it is only a temporary loss, you will not mind it. Xiao Fan was very upset when he heard this. You are trying to make me deaf and blind. How can this be done? I don't believe a word you three old foxes say. You say that I will temporarily lose my hearing and vision. How does I know whether you have temporarily lost me or permanently lost me? Xiao Fan said very seriously, I know the three adults have no choice but to do this, and I can fully understand this matter, but please think about it, three adults, if I really lose my sight and hearing temporarily, in fact, it is very detrimental to our future plans. A purple interstellar iron beetle asked, what's wrong with this? I can't see it at all. Then tell me your reason, let the three of us judge whether it makes sense or not. Xiao Fan said more seriously, Master, take a good look at me. My body is completely overdrawn, and my whole body is covered with scars. It can be said that I have reached a limit. The reason why I can still stand in front of the three adults, it's all because of my will to sacrifice for the race. If the three adults try to block my vision and hearing by any means, I'm worried that it will cause permanent damage to me, and I will lose my vision forever and hearing. If that happens, does our whole plan fail? The purple interstellar iron beetle said with a smile, we really ignored this point. We still tie you up now. It is true that we have gone too far. Now we will give you a tie. This is the voice of the purple interstellar experience bug, and Xiao Fan's bondage disappeared, and he regained his freedom once again. The purple interstellar iron beetle said, your physical condition does not seem to be very good. What you said is also reasonable. In case of permanent damage to your vision and hearing, it will indeed affect our next steps, plan, but all information about the future son must be kept absolutely confidential. Xiao Fan said seriously, three respected adults, maybe I can't go to see the future son, but I can let the future son come to the headquarters, and then we can see each other? Then the future son will secretly return to his station. Wouldn't that make it absolutely confidential? The three purple interstellar iron beetles fell silent after hearing Xiao Fan's words. It was obvious that the three old foxes were thinking and finally made a decision. A purple interstellar iron beetle said, then do as you say. Remember that we put the hope of the entire race, the hope of the future sons, on you, and you must follow our plan to achieve success. Execution must not disappoint our entire race, let alone send the safety of our entire race to the pit. We believe in you, the entire race believes in you, you must not live up to this trust. Xiao Fan nodded resolutely and replied, please rest assured, three respected adults, I will never let down your trust, and I will never let down the trust of the entire race. I have already made the preparation to die. My fate, I have no complaints about it, I just hope that our race will have a better future after I die. Xiao Fan sneered in his heart, I will never die, even if you all die, I will not die, but I can ensure that you will all go into the pit. Who made you trust me? The three purple interstellar iron beetles are quite satisfied with Xiao Fan's impassioned statement. Of course, they must be thinking in their hearts that you are just a little fool who was fooled by me. Chapter 193 Future Son. Xiao Fan was also very curious, wondering what a future son would look like, whether it was a bug or a human, or half human and half bug. Xiao Fan waited patiently with curiosity, because after waiting for about 10 minutes, the expressions of the three purple interstellar iron beetles became serious, and it seemed that the son of the future had arrived. One of the purple interstellar iron beetles said, get ready to welcome the son of the future. Xiao Fan also immediately pretended to become extremely serious, not knowing what a future son would look like, and the mystery was solved immediately. With the appearance of the future son, Xiao Fan's eyes became wider and wider. What the fuck? Prince Mingjin is really good enough, his genes are really strong enough. The future son turned out to be a human being, and he is a very handsome young man. Xiao Fan felt a little jealous, he was even more handsome than Lao Zun. The son of the future looked at Xiao Fan and said, is it that you want to see me? Now that you have seen me, do you have anything to say to me? If there is nothing to say to me, then I will leave here. I still have a lot of things to do, and I don't have a lot of time to waste with you." Although the son of the future didn't show arrogance, and even spoke in a very calm tone, you can feel it from what he said. He is very disdainful of Xiao Fan. To be precise, this is not superficial. The arrogance that is not there, but a kind of arrogance that is carved into the bones and hidden in the depths. Xiao Fan couldn't help complaining in his heart, "What the hell are you so proud of? You are a half-human, half-worm monster. I will kill you sooner or later, and make you a specimen." Of course, Xiao Fan would not show his true inner feelings, and hurriedly said very respectfully, "Dear son of the future, I still want to chat with you. After all, I will pretend to be you next. I hope that in the shortest time I can be like your excellency as much as possible within the time. Of course I will not delay your time too much." The son of the future still said very peacefully, "If you have any questions, you can ask. You don't need to have any politeness when you talk to me, because unnecessary politeness will only delay time. Well, the time is very urgent. I won't say anything nonsense. Let's get straight to the point. You ask me to answer." Xiao Fan then said, "Dear son of the future, when you are in danger, what kind of reaction will you have? This is a particularly important question for me. It is related to whether I can make the other party think that I am genuine. It's you. I hope the son of the future can answer my question in detail." Xiao Fan asked this question for his own purpose. He was not chatting with the future son. He wanted to know how many guards the future son had around him and what kind of environment he was in through this chat. Of course, this is just Xiao Fan's wishful thinking, and that he can obtain these clues, and then use these clues to locate the specific location of the future son. As for whether he can get the clues he wants, Xiao Fan himself is not sure. The son of the future thought for a while and replied, "My life is extremely important to the entire race. Can our entire race change its destiny? Can our entire race's status in the Jade Emperor Starfield be further improved? Can we get rid of slavery? Class, hope is completely on me. If I encounter danger, I will try my best to protect myself and get myself out of danger as much as possible. My guards must protect me at all costs, and I will be the first to evacuate the danger for a while." The three purple interstellar iron beetles nodded after listening. It can be seen that they are very satisfied with the answer of the future son. In their opinion, the future son is completely right to do this. The future son is only responsible for changing the race. Destiny is enough. You don't need the son of the future to take risks. Xiao Fan couldn't help scolding his mother in his heart. This damn bastard was so cunning. He didn't answer any substantive questions of his own, and he didn't reveal any clues to himself at all. Xiao Fan continued to ask a little bit unwillingly, "Dear future son, I absolutely do not mean any offense. I am just asking a hypothetical question. What I am talking about is hypothetical. If the future son encounters danger, it is impossible to evacuate immediately. So how should the future son choose?" Xiao Fan still wants to get as much information as possible, although he knows that there is little hope, but Xiao Fan does not give up. The son of the future said lightly, "If it is impossible for me to evacuate immediately, it means that I am dead, and I will not activate the self-destruct program on my body to end my life by myself, and I must not let the enemy capture me alive and let me suffer humiliation. This is absolutely unacceptable to me as a future son." A purple interstellar iron beetle hurriedly said, "Child of the future, you must not have such an idea. We will definitely try our best to protect your safety and never let you encounter any danger. You are related to our entire race. In the future, our entire main clan will sacrifice everything for you and ensure your safety." However, Xiao Fan's heart was full of waves. This future son actually has a self-destruct program on his body. What's going on? It seems that I didn't get nothing, and I still got useful information. If this future son really has a self-destruct program, it is almost impossible for me to capture him alive. It seems that I have to kill this guy before he activates the self-destruct program. Only in this way can his body be completely preserved. Xiao Fan kept thinking in his heart, but said with great respect on his mouth, "Dear future son, you must not have such thoughts. Even if I risk my life, I will guarantee your safety. Please, future son, don't worry. You will never encounter any danger, and I will never allow you to activate the self-destruct program." When Xiao Fan said these words, it was very impassioned, every word, with an extremely sincere attitude. The son of the future stared at Xiao Fan's expression and nodded slightly and said, "Your words make me very happy. Touched. I also hope that you can succeed, and then I don't have to take risks. You can rest assured that I will help you achieve your last wish, and our entire race will definitely achieve earth-shaking changes in the future. Yay bah, that is your last wish, I will never die. Xiao Fan couldn't help but cursed in his heart, even if you die 10,000 times, I won't die. Chapter 194 Destroy the Headquarters. A purple interstellar iron beetle shouted, what's going on? Did we encounter a sudden attack? Hurry up and protect the future sun from here. Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in his heart. These bloody bastards are always playing tricks on him. This time he wasted too much time. The people sent by Prince Mingjun have already started. There is no plan here, it's worked out, which means that Xiao Fan's previous plan to become a yellow bird seems to be in vain. But Xiao Fan thinks about it, maybe he can continue to be a squirrel. The future sun is in front of his eyes. As long as he has the future sun in his hand, no matter whether it is the interstellar iron beetle or the Prince Mingjun, it is impossible for people to care about the future sun, as long as they all care about the sons of the future. Then I can continue to let them enter the pit dug for them. Xiao Fan then shouted, I will pretend to be the son of the future and leave here to attract the attention of the enemy. My lords will take this opportunity to break out with the son of the future. The three purple interstellar iron beetles looked at Xiao Fan at the same time, and couldn't help but think that this guy is really a fool, but it can be really put to good use. So a purple interstellar iron beetle said, okay, you now pretend to be the son of the future, and I will arrange a team of guards to protect you from the encirclement. Remember that you are a hero, we the whole race will remember you. Xiao Fan nodded firmly, and couldn't help sneering in his heart, I won't let you remember me, but I will remember every one of you. Each of you is stupider than the other, and you believe me like this, you deserve it all, die at the hands of Lao Tzu. Xiao Fan immediately changed into the appearance of the son of the future, and then said, my lords, the time is very urgent, there can be no further delays, please arrange some people to go out with me immediately. A purple interstellar iron beetle immediately called out a group of interstellar iron beetles, pointed at Xiao Fan and said, you must protect our future sun to escape safely, understand? This team of interstellar iron beetles all showed doubts on their faces. Why are there two future suns? Of course, they will not ask their own questions, they just answer very seriously and follow orders. Another purple interstellar iron beetle activated the transmission mode, and a blue beam of light suddenly appeared and was about to cover Xiao Fan. Sons of God are covered in blue beams together. The son of the future is completely confused. He really never thought that just a second ago, the guy who was pulling him so tightly in front of him would swear to die for him, but now he is pulling himself to die together. No, they didn't drag him to die together, but captured himself. The three purple interstellar iron beetles were completely confused at first, but soon came to their senses, and one purple interstellar iron beetle shouted hysterically, terminate the transmission program immediately. However, this optical transmission mode is too fast, and the time it takes before and after is extremely short. It is impossible to stop it once it is activated. Moreover, the three purple interstellar iron beetles have committed a more serious fatal crime. Mistake, they put all their attention on the future sun. They didn't notice that Xiao Fan pulled the future sun and threw 3 energy bombs at the same time. The kind that Li Yun gave him. The three purple interstellar iron beetles had no time to stop them. Xiao Fan, the future sun, and the team of interstellar iron beetles were all transported out of the spaceship. At this time, the ship was also detonated by the energy bomb, making a violent explosion sound. The aftermath of the explosion affected all the surrounding hundreds of kilometers of space. Hard work, Xiao Fan. They were transported hundreds of kilometers away from the spaceship, otherwise they might really be killed by the bomb, but it was the shock wave caused by the explosion that sent them flying wildly like fallen leaves. Xiao Fan has been holding on to the future sun tightly, while the other interstellar iron beetles were so shocked that they flew to nowhere up. The son of the future may be used to being pampered, but he vomited blood non-stop during this kind of shock, and passed out in the end. Xiao Fan couldn't help but feel it was funny. The interstellar iron beetle actually pinned the future of its entire race on this kind of person. In Xiao Fan's opinion, it was really incomprehensible, because this is a complete weak chicken. Even if he has the gene fragment of Prince Mingjun, the combat power is too weak. Whether a race is strong or not depends on the overall combat power and strength of the race. Xiao Fan felt that his thinking mode was not on the same level as that of the interstellar iron beetle. Xiao Fan didn't realize at this time how miserable he had ruined the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle. The most elite special forces came here. Just now, The special forces secretly approached the spaceship of the interstellar Iron Beetle, but the entire army was wiped out by the sudden explosion. Xiao Fan was blasted hundreds of miles away by the shock wave in the air. Xiao Fan barely controlled his body, looked at the future sun he had been holding tightly to. His face was already livid, and he could only breathe his last breath, and the clothes on his body were all stained red by the blood he vomited. Xiao Fan suddenly thought that the future sun had a self-destruct program on his body, and he had to kill him first. If the future sun really woke up and activated the self-destruct program on his body, his work would be in vain. You can't even get a corpse, so definitely get a corpse. Xiao Fan has never been a hesitant person, so he glanced at the comatose future sun, and wanted to kill him without hesitation, but at this moment, a cold voice suddenly sounded. "Stop it, who are you? How do you look like the son of the future? Why do you have the son of the future in your hands? If you can't explain clearly, you must die here today." Xiao Fan turned his head and looked over, and found that there were more than 20 superpowers behind him, and they should all belong to Prince Mingjun. Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in his heart. When did this group of damn bastards show up? And he didn't realize it at all. Probably they must have used some high-tech means. Chapter 195: An Unexpected Encounter. Moreover, the person who arranged the energy network can be transmitted in any direction of the energy network at will. This is the secret behind their sudden appearance in Xiao Fan. Of course, this kind of energy network is also very energy-consuming, and it won't last long. Xiao Fan immediately judged the identities of these people, and immediately said, "Who are you? Do you know my identity? I am carrying out the order of Prince Mingjun. Capture this future sun alive. Do you want to stop me?" Xiao Fan said these words on purpose, because since she knew that the other party was also Prince Mingjun's man, after she said these words, the other party should not immediately kill her. Otherwise, if he can't impress the other party, Xiao Fan is really not sure that he can escape once the other party kills him. Sure enough, Xiao Fan's words had an effect. A handsome young man said, "Are you carrying out the order of concubine Mingjun?" Xiao Fan looked at the other party pretending to be puzzled and asked, "Who are you, and how do you know that concubine Mingjun is here?" "It is impossible for you to know. Our whereabouts have always been kept absolutely secret," the handsome man said. "You are really a complete bastard. Do you know that what you just blew up was not only the headquarters of the interstellar Iron Beetle, but also the most elite special forces unit of Prince Mingjun? Time depends on how you explain to Prince Mingjun." Xiao Fan couldn't help being taken aback when he heard this sentence. He had achieved such a brilliant result just now, and he really didn't know if the other party didn't tell him. Now he has the capital to brag. Xiao Fan felt very excited in his heart, and said with an extremely serious expression on his face, "Aren't you also ours? But concubine Mingjun just sent me to carry out this mission, let alone we didn't bring Prince Mingjun's special forces here. Who are you and what are you going to do?" The handsome man said angrily. "You are such a complete idiot. Don't you understand our identities until now? Of course we are also Prince Mingjun's people, otherwise you would have died 1,000 times or 10,000 times. Xiao Fan said dissatisfied. "Since you are here to support us, why don't you meet us directly? If you find us directly and we communicate with each other, what happened just now will not happen, and it will not cause such a big disaster. What a loss. Even seeing Prince Mingjun is your fault. What does it have to do with us? I will tell concubine Mingjun everything that happened here, and concubine Mingjun will naturally protest to Prince Mingjun." When Xiao Fan said these words, the more he talked, the more excited he became, and the performance was very realistic, as if he had really been wronged by the world. The handsome man snorted, "Although your mission was accomplished very well, you should be aware of the situation in front of you. You are facing so many of us alone. We can make you disappear from this world at any time, and you will never have the chance to see us again, to anyone. Do you think we have the ability to do it?" Xiao Fan said angrily, "You are really a bunch of bastards. We are all our own people. Don't tell me you want to attack me." The handsome man sneered and said, "We don't want to attack you either, but we must go back and have an explanation. It is impossible to cause such a serious loss this time, and all the credit is yours. Then we have no way to explain to the prince. You speak so clearly, you should know what I mean." Xiao Fan fully understood the intentions of the opponent and these guys. The opponent wanted to take credit for himself, otherwise he would have no way to explain to Prince Mingjun when he went back. Xiao Fan quickly calculated in his mind, and soon came up with an idea. Xiao Fan said, "Since we are all on our own, we can discuss anything. But there is one thing I must explain to you in advance. We may meet again in the future. I don't want to make it too difficult for you. It's not impossible to share the credit, but you can't go too far. At least let me explain the past to concubine Mingjun." The handsome man smiled and said, "You are very smart. This can save your life. You can contact concubine Mingjun now, and tell me that you have successfully completed the task with the help of a mysterious force." Xiao Fan sneered and said, "Do you really think I'm an idiot? You're trying to kill me. As soon as I've finished talking to concubine Mingjun, I'm afraid you'll kill me right away. Why don't you dare now, kill me?" "That's because you are worried that I won't be able to go back. Concubine Mingjun will thoroughly investigate what happened, and then she might discover the truth." "Right." The faces of the group of guys on the opposite side were very ugly. Xiao Fan actually saw their intentions, but Xiao Fan didn't guess it completely, because Xiao Fan thought that they might be worried that concubine Mingjun had some kind of high-tech means and contact by yourself, so that the other party dare not make a move immediately. But in fact, the other party did this just to test whether Xiao Fan could still get in touch with concubine Mingjun under the interference of this energy network. If they couldn't get in touch, they would immediately kill without hesitation. Although Xiao Fan didn't fully guess their intentions, it still made these people's faces very ugly. The handsome man sneered and said, "Since you already know that we are going to kill you, we will not let you go no matter what. Maybe we don't know if you can still get in touch with concubine Mingjun, but in any case you are going to take a risk, so you are dead. This credit can only belong to us. Your fault is that you should not compete with us for credit. I hope that you will live smarter in your next life and stop doing such stupid things. Rest assured, let's go." Xiao Fan knew that these damn guys in front of him were about to attack him, and he would never show mercy. Xiao Fan decided to attack first, so with a thought in his mind, an energy bomb given to him by concubine Mingjun flew out, and then it immediately caused a violent explosion. Xiao Fan seriously underestimated the power of this energy bomb. He made a very serious mistake, so while blowing up the opponent to pieces, he was also seriously injured by the impact, and the son of the future died directly in shatter. Chapter 196 Gene Drugs. Xiao Fan was seriously injured this time. He didn't know how long he was in a coma, but he clearly remembered that he had a dream. In this dream, he saw endless corpses, and there were so many dead bodies. Countless monsters want to bite him. Xiao Fan finally woke up from the severe pain. He slowly opened his eyes and saw a familiar face. It was Li Yun. Xiao Fan was a little surprised and asked, "How could it be you?" Li Yun smiled and said, "Why isn't it me? Why did you work so hard and hurt yourself so badly? Fortunately, you met me. I have the best genetic medicine here. Otherwise, even if someone else found you, it would be impossible. Save you. Take a look at how badly you were hurt." A virtual screen suddenly appeared in front of Xiao Fan, and the screen showed the whole process of Li Yun rescuing Xiao Fan. Xiao Fan was missing a leg and a foot, half of both hands were left, and her large shoulder was missing. Li Yun hurriedly administered genetic medicine to him, and then Xiao Fan saw that under the effect of this magical medicine, his wounds healed quickly, and his severed limbs could be regenerated. Li Yun said, "Fortunately, your physical fitness is very good. Otherwise, if I were replaced by someone else, even I would not be able to save me with genetic medicine. Why are you working so hard? If you think it is really difficult to complete this task, you can temporarily. If you don't make a move, we will discuss the countermeasures again." Xiao Fan laughed and said, "The whole plan went very smoothly. I shouldn't have suffered such a big trauma, but Prince Mingjun sent some special forces to get rid of that future son. I don't mind if I didn't meet him. Now that I have met them, I can't ignore them, because their existence is a variable, and I'm worried about the impact on the safety of the two of you, so I can only bite the bullet and try to separate the Interstellar Iron Beetle Command and the special team." The troops were all counted in, and they didn't expect to suffer such a serious injury. But the final result is still good. "All the tasks I want to complete have been completed, but how did you find me?" Li Yun smiled and said, "I have been monitoring the headquarters of the Interstellar Iron Beetle. Although I didn't notice that Prince Mingjun secretly sent a special force, but when they suddenly opened an energy network, it still caused a lot of trouble. It caught my attention, so I began to monitor it more closely. When the energy network suddenly disappeared, I knew there must be a big problem, so I hurriedly checked, and I didn't expect to find you." Xiao Fan laughed and said, "You don't carry out your plan, but you are still here to monitor the headquarters of the Interstellar Iron Beetle. Is it because you care about me?" Li Yun said seriously, Of course it's because I care about you. I'm worried about what to do in case of any accidents when you perform your mission. I've been worrying about it, so I'm here to monitor the interstellar Iron Beetle command. But don't be too pretentious. Passionate, I do like you a little bit, but more importantly because we are partners. Xiao Fan pulled Li Yun over, turned over and found a comfortable cushion, and said with a smile, I found that you still look down on me in your heart, so what if you talk to me a few words of love? What kind of partner is involved at this time? Does it make you feel very ashamed to talk about love with me? Li Yun smiled and said. However you want to hear my affectionate confession to you, it's also very simple, just convince me, and you can say whatever you want. This pair of dogs and men immediately began to fight with real swords and guns, and it took a long time for the war to subside. Li Yun panted and said, I never thought that one day I would become like this, but I have to say that I like this look more and more. The last bit of pride I have now is given by you, take it away. I really care about you more and more now. If I don't pay close attention to your safety, it is very likely that no one will save you this time, and you will really die? Xiao Fan said gratefully, I understand it in my heart, so thank you very much. By the way, how long have I been in a coma, and how are you and Yashu's plan going? Li Yun was dissatisfied and said, I didn't say a few words to me just now, and I mentioned that bitch again. It seems that you are really worried about that bitch, so I will tell you so that you won't be distracted when you are with me. The plan was executed perfectly. I asked that bitch to drive her spaceship and flee back to the Jade Emperor starfield pretending to be in a hurry, and all her people were wiped out by the people I brought, leaving no one alive. Xiao Fan said with some disappointment, she just left like this. Li Yun smiled and said, why are you so reluctant? But there is nothing you can do if you are reluctant. I have to leave now. You have only been in a coma for a few hours. My genetic medicine is very powerful, so it can make you lose weight in a few hours. Within an hour, it was back to normal, and the body became even stronger. Xiao Fan asked, such a good drug is not common in the Jade Emperor star region. Li Yun nodded and replied, of course, only people at the level of Princess Yujin have it. I am her absolute confidant, so she gave me some when I came out to perform a mission this time. I know you want, I still have some left over here, and I can use it twice, so take it. Xiao Fan said embarrassingly, actually, I really want it, but I have no way to get it now. If this thing is very common, I can take it with peace of mind, but this thing is so precious, and you don't have much, so I can't ask for it anymore. You'd better keep it for yourself. Since it's so precious, I can't have the cheek to ask for it. By the way, you're all gone, when will you come back? Do you know I'll miss you? Li Yun smiled and said, when you are still embarrassed, it really surprises me. Take it. I am not sure when I will come again, but that bitch will come again soon. She is relatively free, so the first machinery and raw materials we need will be delivered by that bitch. Xiao Fan nodded and replied, actually, I want you two to come together. Li Yun smiled and said, I know what you think in your heart, but there is one thing I must warn you, when that bitch comes, you can't treat her as hard as you did just now, you can only treat me like this, you understand what do I mean? Otherwise, I will be angry, and I will bite you as hard as before. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197 Tragic Life Experience. Li Yun showed a very satisfied smile, and then took out a silver needle-like thing from the side. Xiao Fan was shocked and said, Li Yun, what do you want to do? Don't try to stab me with this thing, I didn't offend you. Li Yun gave Xiao Fan a look and said, what are you thinking? Why did I prick you for no reason? And even if I wanted to prick you, I wouldn't prick you with such a precious thing. This is called a supernatural gene needle. This is my gift to you. This needle contains a lot of gene fragments with superpowers, but they are all inactive gene fragments. Xiao Fan asked curiously, what do you mean by giving me such a thing? Li Yun explained, although the gene fragments here are not active, they have a very important function, that is, they can help some matching abilities to further improve their abilities. For example, there are some fire superpowers here, the gene fragment of the supernatural power. You insert this gene needle into the skin of the fire supernatural power user, and the inactive gene fragment inside will automatically match with the fire supernatural power user. Once the match is successful, it will greatly improve the fire supernatural power capable level. Xiao Fan asked curiously. There are levels of abilities. Li Yun nodded and replied, of course, abilities are graded. Do you know why the interstellar iron beetles are in the lowest slave class? It is because their genes determine that their abilities are too low, and you use their crystal nuclei to awakening ability. Think about it, how could it be a high-level ability? Xiao Fan was a little dazed when he heard this. It was the first time he had come across this knowledge. Li Yun continued, abilities are generally divided into 9 levels. The interstellar iron beetle's ability level can only be regarded as second level at most, and even strictly speaking, it is only close to second level. The ability level that you awaken with their crystal nucleus is even higher. Low, so it is likely that even the first level ability is not counted. Of course, the level of the ability does not absolutely represent the combat effectiveness, but the level of the ability can determine the height of the ceiling for the development of a person with abilities. Xiao Fan listened very carefully. Li Yun continued, I'll take you as the simplest example. You have indeed done a lot of incredible things, but if you think about it carefully, how many of these things you do depend on your own uniqueness. Can you do it successfully? Please answer my question. Xiao Fan fell into deep thought, and then smiled wryly. Don't ask me to answer this question again. I really don't think there is any need to answer, whether it's destroying the interstellar iron beetle command headquarters, or killing Prince Mingjin's special forces, it's all the same as my own. Ability doesn't matter. It's all done with the help of energy bombs. Li Yun smiled and said, I said this not to hit you, but to let you realize where the ceiling of your own abilities is, just like if there are no energy bombs, whether it is those purple interstellar iron beetles or Mingjin, the people sent by the prince can easily kill you. Xiao Fan nodded after listening. The fact is so, there is no need to deny it. Li Yun stroked Xiao Fan's cheek gently and said, but if your ability level has made a breakthrough, your current ceiling will no longer exist. And you will grow to a very high level relying on your own ability. Maybe at that time, you don't need to rely on any external force. You can wipe out the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle or the special forces sent by Prince Mingjin. Xiao Fan asked curiously, Li Yun, what level is your ability? Li Yun replied seriously, I have a third level lightning ability. Although the ability is divided into 9 levels, this is only a theoretical classification. In fact, there are only 4 levels of real abilities. From level 1 to level 4, I belong to the 3rd level. Xiao Fan asked even more curiously, why are there only 4 levels in fact? There must be some story in this, can you tell me in detail? Li Yun nodded and replied, there is indeed a story in it, a very tragic and bloody story. Do you know why I became your woman? If you ask it another way, why is such a high-level supernatural being willing to do so? Do you want to see you, a lowly aborigine? Xiao Fan shook his head. This question made him feel a little uncomfortable. Li Yun smiled and said, I know this question makes you feel a little uncomfortable, but I'm telling the truth. Because normally, neither I nor you Shu, no matter what happened to you, would not be willing to be your even if it's because Whelan needs the full cooperation of our 4 parties. We are just a cooperative relationship, and we will never be willing to be your people. Xiao Fan asked, then tell me what makes you willing to be my people. Li Yun sighed softly and said, we still have to start with a division of power levels. In fact, powers are divided into 2 types, natural powers and awakened powers. Awakened powers can be divided into 9 levels, and awakening powers above level 4 have a certain strength to challenge natural powers, which can also be called natural powers. Talented people are born rulers and nobles. In order to maintain their dominance, nobles take all the method does not allow the existence of awakened power users above level 4. Under normal circumstances, my family can awaken level 6 powers. This threatened the dominance of the nobles, so my family was bloody cleansed, and only I once survived, and I will never forget the scene of rivers of blood and mountains of corpses. Xiao Fan was really shocked. He never thought that the woman in front of him would have such a tragic life experience. Li Yun smiled bitterly and said, I was also a damned person, but a little girl saved me. You must have guessed the identity of that little girl. There is no mistake. She is Princess Yujin, who is like my sister. I ran away desperately in my mother's arms. My mother was also seriously injured and dying at that time, and she was about to be chased and killed. I happened to meet Princess Yujin, who was brought out to play by a servant. At that time, she's also a little girl. Maybe the 2 of us are destined for each other. She just pointed at me and told me not to let me die, and wanted me to be her playmate. Xiao Fan understands why Li Yun is Princess Yujin's confidant. It turns out that the two of them have such a close relationship, and it is a life-saving grace. Of course, Princess Yujin has absolute trust in Li Yun. After all, the two of them have experienced a life and death relationship, and Li Yun is definitely qualified to be Princess Yujin's confidant. Chapter 198 Gene Needle. Xiao Fan swallowed a woman's tears lightly, and now he has infinite pity for this woman. Li Yun smiled and asked, "Are my tears bitter?" Xiao Fan replied very seriously, "There is no sweetness without suffering." Li Yun shook her head and replied, "I used to think that I would never have the chance to avenge my family, but meeting you gave me a new idea. I may make you feel that you have been used by me, but I pin my hopes on you. Although you are using the power of awakening the crystal core of the interstellar iron beetle, your power is a power that can grow. I think as long as I train you with all my strength, your head the ceiling above will soon be broken by yourself, and you may grow to level 4 or more." Xiao Fan smiled and said, "I don't think I was used by you. You gave yourself to me, so the two of us are one. It doesn't matter who uses the other. And since I want you, I bear both the good and the bad. I am not the kind of refined egoist, as long as the good is not bad." Li Yun smiled and said, "You mess with me, I'll continue." "Fuck it hard." Of course Xiao Fan complied. Li Yun continued one after another, "Especially Wieland's immortal ability makes me feel that my choice is right. If we use this as an opportunity to secretly develop our power, sooner or later I will get a chance for revenge. It is very possible to bring my ability level to a whole new level." Xiao Fan panted and asked, "I understand everything about you, but why is Yushu?" Li Yun said, "Although she looks like a slut, she also seems to be very noble." "What is Mingjun? It's actually a joke. Her family originally controlled a completely independent planet, but it was conquered by the Jade Emperor Starfield. Rather than saying that she is concubine Mingjun, it is better to say that she is a sacrificial person." Xiao Fan asked, "Then, is Yushu a gifted supernatural being or an awakened supernatural being?" Li Yun said, "Do it harder." Xiao Fan began to exert his strength crazily, and Li Yun answered vaguely, "Poor gifted people. Although people with special abilities are all aristocrats, it doesn't mean that there are no conflicts among nobles, and there are also attachments in attachments, relationship. The Yushu family wants to be independent, but the Jade Emperor Starfield disagrees. This is the fundamental contradiction between them." Xiao Fan sighed. "Yushu is also very tired." Li Yun smiled wryly and said, "Do you think anyone lives comfortably? Maybe only the person at the top of the tower is the most comfortable. As long as we are not at the top of the tower, we will not be comfortable. Although Yushu is a bitch, but she also puts all her hopes on you and Whelan, to be precise, on your shoulders. I'm afraid you will get very, very tired in the future. Will you regret it?" Xiao Fan said with a smile, "I regret it. I have long been a person who walks on the tip of a knife. It doesn't matter. On the contrary, I find it very exciting. Do you think I am a person who is naturally adventurous? I have never thought about it before. This question, but after I know about you and Yushu's background, I'm actually very excited now." Li Yun smiled wryly and said, "Actually, from the first moment I saw you, I knew that you are a supernatural being with unlimited potential. Otherwise you really thought I would take the initiative to show up and make friends with you? Would you think that I am a woman who is too utilitarian? Will you hate me after hearing this?" Xiao Fan laughed. "I don't hate you, I will kill you." Li Yun yelled frantically, "Stinky man, come on, kill me." Two people are not talking, but the storm. I don't know how long it took before the fighting subsided. Xiao Fan gasped and said, "Use that needle for me first. Let's see if it works for me. I want to grow up quickly, and I hope I can really rely on supernatural powers to fight." Li Yun said weakly, "You don't need to use the gene needle at all. Those are inactive gene fragments after all, and their effect is still limited. I gave you the gene needle just to let you use it for the people around you. I was killed by you. What do you think it is for? Is it purely for fun? I just want to let you get my active gene in this way, which is even more effective. Although I am only a 3rd level ability now, but my gene should be able to awaken the 6th level ability. In the future, you will gradually know that you have obtained the benefits of my active gene." Xiao Fan pinched Li Yun's cheek and said, "At first I thought you were a very gentle lady, at least a cute little girl, but now you are shouting one by one. I really want to slap you hard, beat you up." Li Yun giggled and said, "Why are you angry? I just accidentally said it. Isn't the benefit I gave you not enough?" Xiao Fan said seriously, Don't worry, I will never let you down. I will definitely improve myself as soon as possible. By the way, do you still have energy bombs on me? If you have any, give me some." Li Yun smiled and said, "You and I are not polite at all now. Even if you don't tell me, I will give you some more. This kind of thing is not particularly precious to me. It's not like the convenience of stealth stickers and genetic medicine. You don't have too many of these even if you want me." Li Yun took out 2 bracelets and said, "I'll give you these 2 pairs of energy bombs. I'm leaving. I'm really reluctant. Everything I told you today is very superficial, but it's enough for you. I will tell you more when you grow up later." Xiao Fan hugged Li Yun tightly and said, "Can you stay with me for another 3 days? I think I should get more of your genes. What do you think?" Li Yun smiled and said, "I know you don't want to part with me. Why should I part with you? I would rather not be separated from you for the rest of my life, but the current situation doesn't allow it. I have to go, otherwise those people will be suspicious. Once they suspect me, I'm afraid I won't have the chance to meet you again in the future." Xiao Fan said with some bitterness, "After all, we are too weak. Even if we want to be together, we can't do it together, so I must become stronger. It is a tragedy for me to separate, and we will never allow such a thing in the future. Tragedy happened to me again. When the time comes, no matter if it is the Jade Emperor Starfield or other things, it will not be able to stop us from being together." Li Yun helped Xiao Fan comb her hair and said, "I also look forward to this day coming sooner. My heart is also very bitter. I meet my enemy every day, but I still have to smile at my enemy. In my heart it's really bitter. Can you understand me?" Chapter 199. You surprise me. Even if Li Yun didn't say it, Xiao Fan could guess that it must be Princess Yujin's parents who ordered the extermination of Li Yun's family. Li Yun rescued. Li Yun didn't stay too long and left. Xiao Fan's mood was a little complicated, more of a reluctance. Li Yun left him a lot of things, basically everything he could keep. This made Xiao Fan feel like he was eating soft rice, but this soft rice had to be eaten, because these things left behind were means to save his life. Xiao Fan went back to his underground base, and saw Lin Xiao and Miss Xia as soon as he went back. Without waiting for the 2 of them to speak, Xiao Fan said directly, "Call all the power awakeners to the conference room. I have very important announcement." Sister Lin Xiao saw what he said was serious, so she did it right away without any delay. Then all the supernatural beings arrived in the meeting room. Xiao Fan said, "I have a few things to tell you now. The first thing is a good thing. The interstellar iron beetle has been eliminated, and our danger has been temporarily lifted." Wow! Immediately, warm applause erupted in the large conference room, and everyone seemed very excited. Xiao Fan looked at them calmly, without any hindrance. It should make them happy for a while. Xiao Fan waited for their enthusiasm to subside and continued, "But I have to tell you the second thing. This is not a good thing. Our enemies may become stronger. Those interstellar iron beetles are actually just some people. They are just slaves. So the next enemy we face may be the master of the interstellar iron beetle." Absolute silence fell into the conference room. This news was indeed a blockbuster, which made everyone dizzy, but Xiao Fan doesn't want to hide them, because it doesn't make any sense to hide them, and it's really a good thing to make them feel calm, or if a stronger enemy comes, and no one around him is mentally prepared, I'm afraid the loss caused by then is immeasurable. Xiao Fan went on to say, "I know if your hearts are a little beating now, we are facing such difficulties against the interstellar iron beetles. Are we capable of fighting against stronger enemies? In fact, to tell you the truth, not only do you have such doubts in your heart, I also have such doubts in my heart." Everyone looked at Xiao Fan. Even Xiao Fan lost confidence, but Xiao Fan is their backbone. Xiao Fan continued, "But no matter whether we have confidence or not, no matter whether we have the courage to face a more powerful enemy, the enemy will come the same, and the enemy will not let us go because of our cowardice or cowardice. So regardless of whether we have confidence or not, we must pick up our confidence at this moment. If we fail to do this, then what awaits us is even more cruel death. I know you will all have a doubt in your mind. If we are at an absolute disadvantage, so what if we are confident? Isn't it still a one-sided massacre? So this is the third thing I will say next. It was also helped by my friends. Our friends gave me a gene needle. This gene needle is very magical. It can help each of us improve our abilities." Wow! Xiao Fan's words caused an uproar in the conference room again. This is one of Xiao Fan's speaking skills, first knocking everyone to the bottom of their hearts and making them feel hopeless. This is a necessary psychological preparation for facing a more powerful enemy. When everyone's confidence was lost, he began to slowly increase everyone's confidence. A good result of this is that everyone is not only psychologically prepared to face stronger, but also has the ability to overcome confidence and hope. This time, Xiao Fan did not let everyone vent their emotions to their heart's content, but motioned everyone to be quiet and said, "This is a very magical needle. I will give each of you a needle now. How many abilities you have depends on the good fortune of each of you. But I believe that each of you is the best, and we can all get huge benefits. In addition, you must also have a psychological preparation, because I have needles it hurts when, ha ha ha." Xiao Fan intentionally humored a bit, and achieved good results. All the supernatural beings laughed. Xiao Fan also has a smile on his face. This is what he wants. Optimism and hope are always the key foundation for moving forward. Without these two, it will be impossible to succeed in the future. After Xiao Fan waited for the big guy's laughter to subside, he said again, "Actually, I still have some good news to tell you, but I have to keep it secret for now. But I can tell you roughly, if this plan can be successful, not only can our planet be rebuilt, but our civilization can even be upgraded to several levels." All the people looked at Xiao Fan in shock. If someone else said such things to them, they would definitely regard them as liars, but they believed what Xiao Fan said, which further made them see greater hope and hope prospect. Of course, Xiao Fan is not talking nonsense. Zhang Weilin can indeed create a miracle, but Xiao Fan is not willing to say it for the time being. After all, the required machinery and equipment and raw materials have not been shipped, and speaking now will make everyone worry about gains and losses, so it's better not to say it. Xiao Fan smiled, walked up to Xiao Li and said, "Otherwise, I will start with you first, and I promise that I will try not to hurt you when I prick you." Xiao Li replied pitifully, "Father, I am afraid when I see the needle in your hand. Can you not be the first to pierce me, and the last one to prick me?" "Okay," Xiao Fan asked loudly with a smile, "which one of you wants to be the first to try?" Wang Min replied at this time, I want to be the first to try. Isn't it just a needle? I really don't care. I can't believe how painful it is." Xiao Fan walked to Wang Min's side, looked at Wang Lin again and said, "My big professor, why don't you prepare the disinfection equipment, and sterilize the gene needle after each person is pricked?" Wang Lin nodded with a smile, and immediately went to prepare the disinfection equipment. Wang Min just watched his sister leave, and suddenly let out a heart-piercing cry. "Xiao Fan, you are a bastard. How dare you sneak up on me? It hurts me to death." Chapter 200, all upgraded. Even her mother Fang Fei thought her daughter was too funny, but soon Wang Min's shouting stopped, but she closed her eyes instantly, and her whole body was in a state of stillness, as if she had been petrified instantly. As a mother, Fang Fei couldn't help worrying about her daughter. Xiao Fan said with a smile, "Sister, don't worry, there will never be any problems." The reason why Xiao Fan dared to make such a guarantee was because he absolutely believed in Li Yun. There was no need for Li Yun to deceive herself about this matter. It was definitely a very useful gene needle. Everyone looked at Wang Min, expecting her further reaction. Suddenly, a cloud of silver mist erupted from Wang Min's body, making everyone's eyes feel a little uncomfortable. Xiao Fan still stared at Wang Min without blinking. Wang Min slowly opened his eyes. The whole process was very peaceful, without any pain. Wang Min gradually showed a smile on his face and said, "I have a feeling now that as long as I think of a place, I can fly to that place in an instant as long as I move. The speed can be so fast that it makes me feel horrible. And there is a lot of information in my brain, all kinds of experience about flying in various situations. It seems to appear in the memory of my mind. I don't even know how I got it. Or maybe I have these things in the first place." Xiao Fan said with a smile, "This is very good information. Not only have your abilities been greatly improved, but you have also gained a lot of experience in using them, which originally required you to spend decades or even hundreds of years. The experience gained is now gained in an instant. You are a lucky one." Wang Min said excitedly, "Why don't we go outside and test my abilities, and see how fast I can fly now? I really want to go out and try it now." Xiao Fan smiled and said, "I know you are very excited now, but bear with it for a while. It's not the time to go out and try it. Don't you see that other people are still waiting to upgrade their abilities?" Only then did Wang Min wake up from the excited state, and looked at the others with some embarrassment, then said nothing, and lowered her head. She was actually shy. Wang Lin came back with the disinfection tool at this time. Fang Fei said, "Forget it, My brother doesn't need to be disinfected, let me do it. I will disinfect after I finish, Xiao Fan thought for a while and nodded. After all, he really forgot to ask whether the disinfection tool would affect the genes. It should not have any effect. But since Fang Fei is Fang Min's mother, then there will be no psychological rejection, so there is no need for disinfection. Xiao Fan came to Fang Fei and said, "Sister, you should be mentally prepared, this really hurts a bit." Before Fang Fei could answer, the gene needle had already been inserted. Fang Fei had a painful expression on his face, but he calmed down quickly and entered a state of petrification. Everyone knows that the ability has started to be improved, and many people are looking forward to Fang Fei, wondering if Fang Fei can improve the ability, because everyone knows in their hearts that it doesn't mean that gene needles can really help everyone improve their abilities. It depends on whether they can find a suitable gene pairing. Fang Fei quickly opened his eyes, and said with a joyful expression on his face, "I feel that my ability to attack in the air has also been greatly improved. And I have a lot of experience in fighting. It's really amazing. It's unbelievable that I got so many benefits just by being pricked by this needle. The gap between civilizations is really too big, and it really makes me feel a little flustered. Fortunately, we also have friends who secretly help us." The others kept nodding their heads when they heard it. "That's really the case. You can't admit this huge civilization gap," Xiao Fan said with a smile, "so when we face the enemy in the future, we must be more cautious and careful, and we must not be reckless. Of course, we should not be timid, and we should not belittle ourselves. Because one day we will grow up to let the enemy look up to us. We definitely have such a foundation." Xiao Fan really seized every opportunity to cheer up his own people, and the others nodded in conviction. "Then I started to improve my ability with everyone, and everyone improved a lot. It can be said that all the awakened people have gained great benefits." Xiao Fan finally looked at everyone and said, "I know that all of you are very excited now, but you must also control your emotions. After all, only some of us have awakened the ability, and a large part of us have not awakened ability. You can't let your excitement affect the psychology of those people. Because we are a team in a whole, we must pay attention to mutual influence." Of course, everyone agrees with Xiao Fan's opinion. Xiao Fan continued, "The abilities of each of you have improved a lot now, and the burden on your shoulders has also increased a lot. If you see someone feeling down because they don't have awakened abilities, you must stand up and bear the burden at this time. Take the responsibility that you should bear, comfort them well, don't let their psychology be too much affected, and give them confidence and hope." Lin Xiaoxiao took the lead and said, "Mr. Lin, don't worry, we know what to do, and we will do what is good for unity. We will never let any divisions in our team, even if we are awakened after gaining the ability and improving the ability. I will not despise other people because of this. It will only unite other people more." Xiao Fan nodded and said, Xiao, you two stayed here for a while, and the others can leave for now. There are some very important things that I need you two to help me with." The others left in an orderly manner after listening, but Fang Min did not leave and said, "I think I am capable of helping you with many things now, so let me stay too." Xiao Fan said with a smile, "If you want to stay, you can stay. Anyway, you don't worry about suffering, so I won't worry about it. If you wait to hear what I asked you to do, you can't any complaints. You can't say that you are not afraid of pain like before, but you scream in pain." Fang Min promised, "Don't worry, this time I will definitely do what I say, I will never complain, and I will never be afraid of pain anymore. If there is anything that needs me to do, you can tell me directly. I will never refuse." End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.